Hopkins Central comes in at 11-3-1. Caldwell County comes in at 9-11, but Caldwell County obviously with a much tougher schedule this season. And Joe Mack, glad you could join us tonight for this broadcast. These Lady Tigers have played a brutal schedule, and to be within a sniff of 500, I think, is a phenomenal feat this year for this group of girls.
Yeah, you're 100% accurate. The schedule that they took on this year was difficult to say the least. And I think you made mention of Hopkins Central's schedule, and I think they came in looking at our schedule at Caldwell and thought they were going to have an easy win, and found out that wasn't the case. So I expect to see a little different here today. And
we are underway. Hopkins Central has first ball. They'll play it back. Hopkins Central going right to left on your radio dial to start this afternoon's contest. Caldwell County steals possession. Laney Fletcher, far corner. She'll play it back cross through the middle. Coming up is Alyssa Traylor, puts a shot on. It looks like it's going to go off a Central player, and it'll be a corner kick for Caldwell County here in the first minute of the ball game tonight. Yeah, nice aggressive play there by the Tigers, moving that ball down the left side, McEnany to Fletcher, and Fletcher puts that ball in the middle to Pookie, and who takes a shot, deflects off. They got a quick scoring opportunity here. They make the play, ball played in short. It's coming in and back out. And it's Fletcher puts the ball inside the 18, deflected by Central off a Caldwell County player across the end line, and it'll be a goal kick coming up for Central. Yeah, they tried to do a little short pass back to Laney to bring it in, just put it out a little too far. Joe Mack, Hopkins Central does have a couple of girls that can put the biscuit in the basket, they say. Caitlin Kavanaugh, number 3, and Caroline Rogers, number 8. Combined have 48 goals between them this year. Yeah, and 26 for Kavanaugh, 22 for Rogers. You just happened to mention it. Those were the two that just touched the ball, and you're right. Those are probably going to be where the scoring comes from if they're scoring for Hopkins Central. Those are the two to focus on, and I'm sure that the coach and the players have that in their game plan to make sure to shut those two down. Yeah, and one thing that as Caldwell County will have the defense against a throw-in is they have it at midfield. Sophie Littlefield puts it up looking for Traylor. That one's going to be kicked out of bounds by Central. Caldwell County is probably, at this point, the most improved team that I've seen in the last 10 years, from start of the season to the end of the season. The steps that these girls have taken and come together is just phenomenal. Yeah, it really is. And I think it started at the beginning of the year when the coaching questions came into play, and a number of the girls, rallied and got themselves together, and it just formed a sense of team. And then you bring in Rhett Miller, who has just worked miracles, for lack of a different terminology. He just have helped these girls develop so quickly. So I agree. This probably is the biggest transformation we've seen for a team in one season. I think it is. We just, the only trouble that we're still having, and we're getting better, but just finishing off plays. We control time of possession. We control a lot of touches. It's just finishing up the play, and that's what I hope can come in big time tonight, as Kelsey Adams will take the free kick from about 25 yards out, puts it at the top of the 18, kicked back out by Hopkins Central. But there's Hannah Young for Caldwell County, just a mainstay on that back line, puts a through ball up, nobody home for Caldwell County. McEnany the closest in the area, but still a couple of yards behind that, so it'll be a punt out. Hits the back of McEnany on the punt and rolls back, but Hopkins Central able to come back and pick it up. Adams will control this. Strong defensive line for Caldwell County. You've got Adams and Young to go along with McDaniels and Boyd, and there's not many better in the region. No, Dennis, you're right, and I can tell you that's 3 sophomores on that team, and Asia, who's a junior, so you have them. Yeah. 2 more years. Yeah, just losing 2 players this year. Of course, you're losing most of your scoring, probably 2/3 of your scoring. Taking Kaylee out of the picture, you're losing yes, Fletcher and Traylor. And also just tenacity, and those two are... Yeah, a lot of toughness. Go get Caldwell County plays another corner kick in. This time it's going to go to McDaniel, headed by Central dangerously right into the 6. That one's going to roll out to the 18, still in play. Boyd comes up to try to put this ball back across, makes a good step-over move, puts a left-footed shot on, takes an awkward bounce, and saved by the keeper for Hopkins Central, but that one was not as easy as what it looked.
No, and that was a nice little barrage. And I tell you, that's one of the things we've seen this year, Dennis, is Rhett has moved those two corner fullbacks up to make plays.
Now 1-on-4 run by Hopkins Central. Crossover move gets past Adams. They have it inside the 18. Shot on goal, up and in. And that was number 3, Caitlin Kavanaugh.
Yes,
And 5 minutes into the ball game, Hopkins Central has their first lead.
Yeah, it got our defense a little flat-footed there. She made some moves through the defense, got herself an open lane, and took the shot and blistered a beautiful ball just top of the goal. And
she made a great shot, but she made an even better move to get past all-region defender Kelsey Adams, and that was tough in itself. When she got by her, she got it inside the 18 and put a high shot on.
Well, and that's you know, we talked about it right at the beginning. That's majority where they're scoring. Those are going to be their number 3, number 8, going to be who we have to control. And that, like you said, that was a 1-on-4, and she got through and made us pay.
Ball comes back up the field. Kavanaugh still playing up front, gains possession. She gets a little help from the teammates on this one as they switch sides to the far sideline. McDaniels with a good defensive play. She'll put it back to the middle of the field. Kept in by Caldwell County on a nice play by the outside mid on that one. It's coming up to Traylor. Traylor plays it into the corner. Fletcher's going to give chase to this one. Hopkins Central is going to kick it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Tigers.
All right, let's see if the Lady Tigers, how they respond here. They're back into the offensive zone.
Throw-in comes up. It's Seibert with possession. Back down to Fletcher. Fletcher with a lob back up just above the 18 to Littlefield. Littlefield's going to have to play it back. She's going to go over to Boyd. Boyd plays it back, deflected by Hopkins Central. Now Boyd's going to give chase. She's got some pressure on her back, bumping as they go out the sideline. And it'll be Central throw-in near midfield. Good job by Adams. First touch on that puts it back to midfield.
Hopkins Central's got a lot of pep in their step, Dennis. They're going to that ball.
I think the prior game to this one a couple of weeks ago may have been a wake-up call for Hopkins Central, who came in with that great record. They only had 2 losses at the time, one of those by former Tiger head coach Eric Jacobs in the tournament over at Hopkinsville. His team from Nashville gave Hopkins Central one of their losses.
Well, good for Coach Jacobs.
And I think Coach Jacobs' team actually won that tournament at Hopkinsville that weekend.
Good for them.
Traylor gets around one person, gets it up to McEnany. McEnany with one
nice
touch drop
pass.
back to Traylor. Traylor open momentarily in the middle, tripped up, ball still loose. Still going around inside the 18, cleared out by Central. Shot on goal is blocked again just outside the 18. It comes back to Littlefield. Littlefield to Traylor, and Central's going to kick this one out.
Good efforts there by the Tigers. Good defense by the Hopkins Central players. They were able to take away any shot on goal by deflecting it.
And Caldwell County plays it back in. Seibert tried to crossover move at the side of the 18 and wants to play it back out now. Central takes a steal. Defensively, it's Boyd on this side in front of Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh with the long through ball comes up, giving chase is Kelsey Adams. She has some company on her back, and she's going to clear it out. It'll be a throw-in for Central.
Yep, let that defense reset there.
To quote our old broadcast buddy up here, Jeff McDaniels, when in doubt, kick it out, and that's exactly what Caldwell County did.
That was smart, because that was a nice little play by Hopkins Central. Moved that ball off that throw-in. Long pass across the field, so.
Are their mics sounding better now?
And it's played into the top of the 18. Kicked out of bounds by Ginn.
They still sound messed up.
Kavanaugh's going to take the throw for Hopkins Central. Ginn still with the first touch on this one. Gets it up the field to Fletcher. Fletcher did a good job keeping that one in. Takes it up the field, turning towards the middle.
Nice.
Over to Seibert. Seibert met at midfield. Ball goes straight up in the air and comes down to Hopkins Central. Central's Rogers with possession, puts it up, and now it's Kelsey Adams deep in the offensive corner. Plays it off the Central player and out of bounds. Good job by Kelsey to be that smart to play it off a player and out of bounds. She also picks up the throw-in.
Absolutely, yeah. Great play. Kelsey can really turn her body when you'd think she doesn't have a chance to turn like that, and then she can turn those hips and change that ball direction in a heartbeat.
Very talented player. Well, the freshman to made all region last year.
Incredible.
This one's going to roll up the line and out of bounds, and it'll go Central's way. Just about 9 minutes into the ball game, Hopkins Central leads this one 1-0 on a score by Caitlin Cavanaugh with about 5 minutes gone in the ball game. Off the Caldwell County player, it'll be another throw for Central.
I called Tom. Of course, he won't call back.
Headed by Goffinette, still up in the air. Now McDaniels clears it up the field, gets it up to Fletcher. Fletcher with a good tough move, gets good body position.
Yes, she does.
Switches fields over to Littlefield. Littlefield has it taken away momentarily, but back to Young. They'll go back to Littlefield on this side. Quite a bit more room here at Madisonville High School along the sides than our normal broadcast from Butler Stadium.
Yeah, field looks nice, Dennis, from our viewpoint. And a little different game for the girls, like you say, because of the extra room, but they've played here plenty of times.
Yeah, this place is familiar to a lot of us. In fact, Joe, if you remember back about 51 weeks ago, we were doing the regional championship week where Caldwell County made it to the regional championship against Henderson last year.
I know, that was so cool.
We were standing out here in fleece jackets and down vests.
Quite a difference.
Now we're at game time, and it's still in the low 80s at game time.
Right, we're only 1 week out from last year, and wearing shorts and T-shirts, so yeah.
Ball goes out of bounds far side in front of Central's bench. Throw in by Caldwell County, gets it up to Pookie Traylor. Pookie has some company around, tried to line up a hard kick, but it's blocked by Central. Back out to midfield. Giving chase there is Kelsey Adams. Kelsey will play it to the corner, looking for Goffinette down that side. Goffinette taken down on the play, and the referee will blow the whistle on that one. Good job by Lucy to get in there and make some contact. It's going to be a free kick from about the 18 extended on the far sideline here at Madisonville.
Yeah, nice play by Goffinette there to make that run and get that foot on the ball, and just tripped up by the Hopkins Central player, but an opportunity here.
This is one Adams can score on. She puts the lob up just wide left, and it'll go out of bounds for a goal kick for Hopkins Central. We've seen her score a couple of times this year at Butler Stadium on those exact kicks, so she has plenty of leg and plenty of touch.
We know she has that shot, and that one looked good, like you say, just a little wide.
Central plays the ball back out towards the sideline. Goffinette keeps it in. Good back touch over to McDaniels, down the line to Caldwell County's Fletcher. It goes back out again, over to Goffinette. Caldwell County moving the ball around well early on.
Yes, they are.
Central's really clogging that 18 up as far as shots go. You're going to have a pretty good angle on a shot or find a lane, because they're really leaving a lot of girls back inside the box.
Yeah, and that looks like that's going to be their game plan. They really have. They've compressed that box, so you're going to either hope for a deflection off somebody, but that's what's happened. Every shot they've taken has been contested or blocked.
And they did a lot of that at Princeton, and it was surprising because they were behind much of the night when they played Caldwell County up there a couple of weeks ago. Now with a 1-goal lead, it's going to make it tough for the Lady Tigers to get one in, but it was still plenty of time in this contest.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I think the Tigers and Rhett, they're going to make adjustments as the game goes on.
Ball played up the field to Traylor. Traylor over to Goffinette. Goffinette back to Traylor, has it taken away at midfield. This one's going to roll towards Kelsey Adams, deflected and all the way across the end line by one of Central's players, down into the drainage ditch all the way here at Madisonville, so it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Tigers.
We've seen those balls go to that ditch before, but that was quite a velocity on that ball coming from Kelsey, and that ball just deflected off number 2 and flew all the way to the ditch.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to have to deflect one off of a Kelsey kick, because that's going to leave a mark on somebody.
Yes, it is, the old.
Hannah Young puts it up the field to Goffinette. Goffinette plays it back to McDaniels. She clears it midfield. Nice play by Lucy, or by Laney Fletcher.
Laney, my bad.
Laney one-on-one, makes a good cut, comes back to the corner of the 18, puts a shot on goal. It's going to be wide right. Charging on that side was Littlefield.
Thought it might have been deflected, but referee calls for a goal kick. Nice move, like you say, Dennis. Though we got to get those shots. We got to get those shots on goal, and we got to put one in the back.
Joe Mack, it wouldn't surprise me as much as Central likes to compact that defense back inside the 18 all the way down to about the 6 line. If you get a shot in we may even score more on deflections tonight than straight on kicks.
That's an excellent point.
This one's going to be played across. Lucy Goffinette's going to go far corner to get this one. She'll play it back out to McDaniels. And you mentioned it a while ago. McDaniels and Boyd both pushed up well into the offense for Caldwell County.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Goffinette plays it into the 18.
It is one of the things, Rhett, we've seen Tim change.
A turn and kick by Sophie Littlefield, picked up by the keeper for Central, but a good touch by her just to hit and turn, just to make a turn and hit.
Yep.
Young plays it back to Traylor. She gets through a couple of people. Shot on goal by Traylor. Right at the keeper. Is kicked out as the keeper couldn't handle it. It's going to go out of bounds. I think, no, maybe they kept that in. I think Traylor did keep it in. We're kind of blocked from view in the near side corner.
See the ball come across.
Caldwell County pressing the issue down there still. And it is going to be a throw-in. I think it's going to go Caldwell County.
Yes, Caldwell throw.
All the way across into the keeper. Oof. And Joe Mack, the keeper, is really having some trouble on just little simple plays at this point early in this contest. So
not sure
that may bode well for the Lady Tigers later on.
Yeah, I think they're going to be smart to continue to crash that goal until that keeper has good firm control. Because you're right, she's had a little issues just corralling that ball.
Caldwell County controlling time of possession after the first 5 minutes of the ball game fairly well, but still trail this one 1-0. Just about 15 minutes gone here in the first half. Winner of this one takes on Madisonville tomorrow night in the championship game. That one rescheduled from Wednesday because of forecasted impending weather coming up on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think the weather certainly looked like it was turning for the worse, so I applaud the powers that be for making that change.
I do too.
Give both teams opportunity, boys and girls, finals be played tomorrow as opposed to Wednesday.
No need in standing out in the rain when we can have a nice night tomorrow night to get this in.
Absolutely.
McEnany with the touch on the sideline, double team there. It's going to go out of bounds, but it's off of Central. Caldwell County throw in. Gets it over to McEnany. McEnany with the touch up to Fletcher. Fletcher with a nice step over move takes it to the sideline to Littlefield. Littlefield plays it up to Pookie Traylor. Pookie tries to get the speed around the corner. Pookie taken down in the box, but she did get a foot on the ball. The Hopkins Central defender did. Kicks it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw for Caldwell County. That's a nice play, even though it may look like a foul to some. If you've seen soccer a lot, she made a play on the ball, kept the toes down, and made a good slide kick on it. So good play by her.
Yep, it was.
But Caldwell County retains possession. Gets it over to Boyd. Boyd trips. Now Central puts it up to Kavanaugh. Caldwell County's defense is going to have to retreat quickly. They get it back to Adams. Adams plays it over to Young.
Good play there by Kelsey because you had number 8 running.
Oh, good play by Caldwell County. They take advantage of a missed kick by Central. Get it up to Fletcher. Fletcher at the top of the 18 wants to wind up, puts it over to Littlefield. Littlefield takes control on the right side. Back over to McEnany. McEnany's shot on goal is deflected at the 6. McEnany gets it back. Another shot, or maybe that's a pass over to Littlefield. Littlefield picks it up in the corner, plays it back out to Traylor. Traylor left-footed shot off of Central, deflected. And Hopkins Central finally puts it out near midfield, but there's Hannah Young for Caldwell County to keep it in our possession down towards the 18. McDaniels, long kick, and again bounces off the keeper for Hopkins Central. She's able to pick it up with no pressure. But that's something Caldwell County is going to have to take note of as this game progresses.
Yeah, good barrage there by Caldwell again. You have all those Hopkins Central players that just clog up that lane, if you will, and no true easy shots going to be coming from that 18 inside at 18.
Ball loose at midfield, controlled by Central. They'll play it down to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh looks over. Nice defensive play by Boyd to steal that one away. She's going to take it far sideline to Goffinette.
Yeah, nice play by Boyd.
Goffinette puts it up to Littlefield. Caldwell County back on the offensive attack. Littlefield lays it over to Fletcher. Fletcher plays it up to Traylor. Traylor trying to catch up before it goes across the end line. Puts a shot on goal. Still alive. Over to Littlefield. Littlefield barely hooks it around the left post. And it's going to be a goal kick for Hopkins Central. Joe Mack, two things that I'm seeing so far. Caldwell County controlling the possession and the offensive plays since that goal by Hopkins Central, and another, Kelsey Adams really staying back a little bit more in the old-fashioned sweeper role that a lot of teams don't use anymore. But I think that goal by Kavanaugh kind of caught her off guard. She was in a little too close a position and actually had to pay for it with that goal, but now she's learned that and picked up on it.
I tell you, Dan, it looked like there was an issue. The ball must have went out down on that far line. That's a little out of our line sight, so it ended up being a Caldwell corner kick, which Goffnet put in, laid back to Boyd, and put a shot on goal because everybody was crashing, but a little long on the shot, so another opportunity just missed by Caldwell.
And we're getting down to about 20 minutes left in this first half. Hopkins Central leads this one 1-0 halfway through, so we're going to take a quick break and be back. You're listening to Lady Tiger Soccer on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Here to sell and service your vehicle. But did you know that Trice Used Incorporated also wants to buy your vehicle? You heard right.
Disconnected.
You're sure to love, or you might want to try the new street tacos. Tacos de asada, tacos de carnita, or tacos de... Friday and Saturday 11 to 9:30, and Sundays 11 to 9. And they offer lunch specials Monday through Friday 11 to 3. Be sure to like them on Facebook for updates and specials. La Potosina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. Trilogy offers a wide range of classes to help you reach your fitness and well-being goals, like yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, and weightlifting. They have family discounts, and your first class is free. So come work out in a family-friendly environment at Trilogy Performance Sports, located directly behind Cash Express in Princeton. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports Princeton. Telephone 270-601-1824.
Back to Lady Tiger Soccer on WPKY Princeton. We are in the semifinal match between Caldwell County's Lady Tigers and the Lady Storm of Hopkins Central. Hopkins Central leading this one 1-0. Just about 18 and a half minutes to go here in the first half. And Joe Mack, Caldwell County has done a good job after that score by Central about 5 minutes in. The Lady Tigers have controlled probably possession 80-20 at this point, but still nothing in the net for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, just got to get one in the net. Ball's been moved around the middle a lot here, but Tigers have been in the majority of the position, like you say.
This is one of the switches that Coach Miller does in the formation from time to time during a game. He'll bring Lainey Fletcher off that side and put her in the middle, move Goffnet to the side. So you've got Fletcher and McEnany both in that middle. A lot of scoring potential there if we can get the right angle.
Yep, absolutely.
Good job by Ginn. Gets it over to Goffnet. Goffnet quickly across. She wants to switch field. She'll bring it all the way to this side to Littlefield. Littlefield with a nice step over move. Gets around her player. Plays it up to Fletcher. Fletcher with a spin move. Gets it inside the 18, but Hopkins Central takes no chances, and they kick it out to the side on a nice spin move by Lainey Fletcher.
Yeah, good idea by Lainey, trying to essentially pass it to herself. Almost looked like a Maradona, and Hopkins Central player didn't take a chance, cleared it out.
And it'll be a throw for the Lady Tigers. Blocked by the stands from our vantage point here at Madisonville, not allowed to use the press box each year for some reason. So we are camped out on the ridge up here outside, just behind the home team section.
Looks like ball went out, another Lady Tiger throw.
They get it into McEnany. McEnany plays it back to Young. Caldwell County with a lot of nice one-touch passes. They're working the ball around using both sides of the field. They're doing everything right up to this point except putting one in the net.
Here's a good touch. Oh.
And a good job by Littlefield to be crashing on that one. I think she's noticed that the keeper's having quite a bit of trouble. Big kick out. Comes all the way down to Kavanaugh. She's 1-on-4 again, hopefully with much better results for the Lady Tigers. She picks up a little help now. It's Kelsey Adams with a nice play defensively. And it's going to come all the way across the 18, picked up by Abby Hagan. But Joe Mack, I think that was a much better position by Kelsey Adams on that one. She had the depth that time. She broke down into a better position, better angle, and it paid off for Caldwell County.
Yeah, nice recovery there by Kelsey, and a good little opportunity for Hopkins Central.
Central with the ball, and a little bit of a clearance. Coming back is Ginn. Ginn closed that gap in a hurry as Central has to go towards the outside, trying to pick this one up. Goffinette comes up, puts a little physical play on Central. Central player still down, no call on it as Caldwell County gets it back towards midfield. Goffinette up to Fletcher.
Great help by Lucy there and Maggie to turn that ball around.
Ball played out. Trailer comes up, and a sliding cover by Hopkins Central's keeper. She makes the hard plays look easy.
Yeah.
And the easy ones have caused her some trouble tonight. Handball is going to be called on Central, and it'll be Lady Tiger ball from just inside the offensive side of the midfield circle.
I tell you what, that keeper didn't realize she was close to being outside that 18 when she let that kick go.
Good pressure by Alyssa Trailer. Kelsey Adams is going to put this one down, headed inside the 18. Now Central's going to try to bring it back out.
Boy,
They'll
beautiful
get it up to
ball
Kavanaugh.
there.
Kavanaugh positions herself, Joe, have you noticed that she doesn't position herself right in the center of the field when she wants those kicks out for the offensive possession to start? She'll mainly position herself either side of the midfield circle.
Yeah, she likes to work from one angle or the other. It doesn't matter which side of the field she's on. She just likes to work at that angle. You're right.
She'll take possession there, and then she'll angle it back towards the middle on her way up, much like going towards you get to the free throw line in basketball and angle towards the goal. She's doing much like that from about midways of the offensive field.
Very true.
Hopkins Central throws just at midfield. They get it up to McEnany. She's got some room, dribbles up, looks down the field to Littlefield, leads her a little bit too much and cleared by Central, but there's Boyd coming back. Asia able to get possession. She'll put it up to Trailer. Trailer and Fletcher, I think there was some indecision about who was going to pick that up.
They both jumped in. Looks like we got some sort of call.
It's going to be a little too much contact on Laney, and we'll take the call. I didn't really see that much there to be whistled for, but we'll take the call as Kelsey Adams will be able to put a foot on this one from about 25 yards out on the right side.
Good opportunity here.
Adams with the lob.
There it is.
And hit it off the post after the keeper missed it. Fletcher had the golden opportunity and headed it off the post, but the last touch comes off of the keeper, so it will be a corner kick for the Lady Tigers.
Wow, what a great ball first off by Kelsey. Goalie has to make a save, and like we had said, just wasn't comfortable bringing it in. And here's Laney right there, puts a header and off the darn crossbar.
Yeah.
So nice job crashing the goal there, Laney. And
yeah, we've seen that keeper come out and make a couple of sliding stops that look great, but she's had really a lot of trouble anything shoulders up.
Straight on. So here's another opportunity, corner kick. Sure love to see us score off a corner, Dennis.
Ball put in play on the ground. McEnany back to the corner.
There it is.
Headed in front of the goal and cleared out by Hopkins Central. We're there, Joe. We're almost there. We're just sniffing on the goal right now.
We got two people right there.
McDaniels is going to play it back in. Fletcher turns, puts a shot on. This one caught by the keeper.
Yep.
McEnany standing right in front of her if it hadn't come loose.
Yep. Well, they're doing the right things. They're gonna get it in here, Dennis.
And Joe Mack, I think the young lady is stepping right on that line whenever she comes out for that punt.
Yeah, she did on that. She did on that one. As a matter of fact, but we have three. We have two linesmen and a center ref, so they should be right on that. They should know exactly what they need to be watching for.
I think this is the first time all season that we've seen a three official crew.
Yeah, I know the reffings. Anybody out there listening would like the ref. I know Kentucky State State of Kentucky would love to have you.
This one goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick for Central.
But yeah, it's nice to have a full crew.
It is, and these guys make pretty good money. When it's a two-man crew, they're making some pretty good money to referee these games if you can put up with the help officiating. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, and we know there's some helpers on.
Yeah,
any
well,
team we played, and I'll say our team on occasion,
Oh, yeah.
our parents on occasion will help
there's
the
been a time or
referee.
two I think I've tried to help them. This one on goal, easily picked up by the keeper for Central.
We don't want to incriminate ourselves,
But Joe, I think they're somewhere around the $85, $90 mark
wow,
for officiating a
realize it was
two-man
that
crew.
much.
So it's some pretty good money for somebody that's wanting to get in it, that knows soccer. You can make pretty good in the course of a week if you ref a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. It's such a wonderful sport. And you just hate to see not have enough referees to help cover. But you know, continues to grow. So hopefully that'll correct itself.
10:45 left to go here in the first half on the clock. No real stoppage time to speak of. Caldwell County trails this one 1-0. A goal by Caitlin Kavanaugh, just about 5 minutes into the ball game, has Central with the lead. Caldwell County trying to put some offense together. They've controlled the ball, had the ball well inside the 6 on 3 or 4 different occasions tonight. Just can't get it across that line yet. McEnany wanted the through ball and a good run preparation by Traylor. Pookie was one step from being there on that one. Caldwell able to come back with it. McEnany plays it over to Traylor, back to McEnany. This one's going to go across the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for Central.
Nice little play there. Just trying to one touches back and forth. Just can't get that shot off.
Caldwell County with the 5-1 win over Hopkins Central just a couple of weeks ago at Butler Stadium. But all that meant was a home team designation in this tournament, as it's just a 3-team district. That one's going to roll across the end line off of Hopkins Central. It'll be a corner kick far sideline. Laney Fletcher will probably take the duties on this one. I like how Caldwell County sets up in the bunch to the far side of the field, and then they'll spring in different lanes as soon as the signal is given from the corner kick.
Yeah, they have a number of different set plays.
This one's going to be played to McEnany, back over to Fletcher.
They're going to call McEnany for the push.
Not a lot of contact, enough to get the call low, as Central will have it. Ball played out towards Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh has it taken away by Ginn. Now it's Kavanaugh and Ginn just shy of midfield. This one played up to Young. Young settles with plenty of time, gets it over to Ginn. Ginn to McEnany. McEnany one touch to Fletcher. Fletcher over to Seibert. Caldwell County moving the ball well tonight. This one played into the 18, giving chase is Laney Fletcher. She's going to bring it back out. Left-footed shot by Seibert. Blocked, headed over the bar. But another corner kick coming up for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, nice one touch by Laney. Seibert getting that ball down to Laney low. Laney saves that ball from going over the goal line. Passes it back. Seibert with a great left foot. Just deflected. You know, again, crowd of Hopkins Central peoples in that box. And a great smart deflection there, because that ball was looking good.
There are 9 players plus the keeper in the defensive box for Central. They're going to play this one back out towards the sideline. And it's Hopkins Central with the transition. They have one player up, and that's Caitlin Kavanaugh. She takes possession just across midfield. Plays it back. Caldwell County in pursuit. That was Caroline Rogers. It's Rogers and Kavanaugh back for Central. Ball loose inside the 18, cleared out, or almost cleared out. Sliding tackle nice in front of Maggie Ginn. Now it's Kavanaugh with the shot on goal, and this one's going to roll across the end line far side for a goal kick for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, just the Tigers just not able to corral that ball bouncing around, and it seems like whenever it settled, it was on a Hopkins Central foot. So,
Joe, if you'll take it for a second, I've got to handle just one work call here.
No worries. We've got a goal kick here for Caldwell. Young to take the goal kick. Let's see if we can get this ball up and organized. Young puts it into the middle, unfortunately straight to Kavanaugh, but off Kavanaugh. Laney gets a touch on it back to Morgan Fletcher, who tries to hit Laney again, but intercepted by Hopkins Central, number 2. Morgan able to corral that. Passes it up to McEnany, who puts it over to Seibert. Seibert got some room, moving down, tries to find Fletcher crashing, but again, a Hopkins Central player able to deflect that. Seibert able to take it back over from Hopkins Central, up to Pookie, over to McEnany. McEnany puts a shot on, but just didn't have much on it. goalie easy enough to corral. But good little set of passes there to move that ball all the way up. Goal kick comes out to number 8 in the middle, who passes it over to Kavanaugh in the center of the field, right at the top of the center line. Maggie there to cause frustration. Kavanaugh just has to kick it in. Number 8 for Hopkins Central comes in to take a play, but gets her hands in the way, unfortunately, so it's going to be a handball. Free kick right at the center line for Caldwell.
All right, thank you, Joe. I appreciate you covering for me there.
No worries.
Kelsey Adams is going to take this kick from right at midfield, like Joe said, puts it all the way to the top of the 18, still rolling loose. Laney Fletcher puts a shot on goal, and somehow saved by the keeper. She just kind of flailed at it, able to get a hand on it, kick it out of bounds, but it'll be another corner kick for Caldwell County as we tick down close to 5 minutes left here in the first half.
Yeah, Adams starts that kick from the center line. It takes a bounce, gets through to Fletcher, who turns and puts a great shot on goal. And like you said, the goalie, I think, was just in the right position. It more hit off her body.
And it's McEnany trying to get the ball back out to Fletcher, kicked up, and let's see if they'll keep this in on the sideline. And it does roll out of bounds. Kelsey will take the throw in, gets it back up to, is that McDaniels, pushed well up into the offensive end.
Yeah, Rhett's moving those two defensive ends all the way up.
Morgan throws it in. That's going to go off of McEnany, I think. No, they're going to give another corner as
popped off of Hopkins Central.
Yeah, it's going to be Fletcher going down to the corner to take another corner kick. Caldwell County's we haven't charted these, Joe. We never do, but got to be getting up close to 7 or 8 of these.
Yes, and they've been playing everyone short. Let's see if they change their strategy here.
And they do. They'll bring it in at a little better angle to McEnany. McEnany in the center, still bouncing around. This one off of a Central player. That was another shot on goal by Becca Seibert. Goes off a Central player. It'll be a corner kick on the other side of the field. I think that's Seibert going over to take that one.
Yeah, it made a little difference there, Dennis, because they've been trying to play it short every time. And I think that might have been Central doing a little playbook of what we did earlier.
This one kicked in, blocked. Central sets up that two-person wall right at the near bar. It's going to be Asia Boyd, puts the ball inside the 18. Littlefield backpedal trying to get that. Now Central's going to clear it out, but not until Hannah Young puts a shot on goal from well out in the field. It's going to go over and right, and it'll be a goal kick for Hopkins Central.
I just can't connect on those corner kicks yet, Dennis, and I tell you, you're right. I think that's probably 7 or 8 corner kicks we've had this evening. But, you know, maybe 1 or 2 threats to score off that corner, but beyond that, we haven't been as effective as you would hope.
One's got to go sometime. You'd think the law of averages, but what's the old cartoon? I didn't study law, so we've got to put 1 or 2 of those in. We're getting way too many opportunities just to let those keep rolling by.
Yes.
And we've controlled the first half outside of the first 5 minutes of the ball game. I would say we've controlled easily 80% time of possession.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow at halftime. We don't get one back here, being down 1-0 with the control we've been playing.
Adams plays it off a Central player. It's going to be a Caldwell County throw-in deep in their defensive end. They play it into Adams. Nobody really charging her. Now Kavanaugh comes up to force the issue. This one goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Lady Tiger ball. Up to
ball, Morgan.
Morgan with a nice throw-in. Up to McEnany. It's stolen away at midfield. Again, trying to get in position. Now she's battling a couple of Central players. They'll go back and forth, almost using like a pick play there at midfield. That was number 8, Caroline Rogers. Rogers taken down by, is that Seibert or Littlefield?
Yeah, that's Littlefield. Littlefield came in to play that ball and then unfortunately just tripped because she made a great play.
So it's going to be Caitlin Kavanaugh with the kick from about 35 yards out. She puts a shot up, good kick, and finds the net right over the outstretched arms of Abby Hagan.
Well, as soon as she kicked it, I knew that was trouble.
Yeah, that was a perfect kick. I mean, the launch on it was great. Hagan was up a little bit, tried to back up, and Hagan, a tall player, reached up and still could do nothing with that one.
Yeah,
And Hopkins Central
that's a
builds
shocker.
their lead to 2-0 now.
Right before the end of the half here.
And we are in stoppage time in that last 2 minutes, so Caldwell County it would be great, Joe, if we could turn one in on the board right before half.
Yes.
To try to cut this lead, but very surprising going on here, the way we've controlled the game to be down 2-0 at this point.
Well, you're right. It's just a shock. I mean, Hopkins Central is essentially doing it from their defense, and they have 2 opportunities, and they're able to cash in.
Yeah, really, the only 2 shots to speak of on goal have both gone in by Kavanaugh, where she came down unassisted about 5 minutes into the game, and then off the free kick from probably 35 yards at least, and put a pretty lob in. So those plays happen a lot. You've got to be prepared for that. No matter how far out, most of these kids today have plenty of leg, even from midfield. Again, has the block put on her. They're going to call that one. So Caldwell County, speaking of free kicks, is going to get one just below the midfield circle as we are in the last minute of play. Kelsey Adams sets this one up. Has her players where she wants them, puts the ball up, line drive kick, headed and goes across the end line. It'll be a corner kick for the Lady Tigers.
All right away, Tigers. Here we go. Not much time left, Dennis. Let's see if we can't get one in here.
Yeah, it's a nice time for one. Probably at least the 10th penalty kick in the first half. This one up and bounces around, cleared out again by Central. It'll come out to McDaniels. McDaniels has some room. Hopkins Central has everybody all the way back on the defensive end right now, including Kavanaugh, who's well back into the field.
Yeah,
this one out to midfield. And they'll let the scoreboard whistle go. So after 1 half of play, it's Hopkins Central with a surprising 2-0 lead on Caldwell County. We'll take a break, be back, recap the scoring, and look ahead to the second half. You're listening to Lady Tiger Soccer on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
We have served the small business owners of this area for over 100 years. Do you have trouble understanding liability or workers' comp insurance? Are your insurance premiums spiraling out of control? Whether you're a furniture store on Main Street, a plumber or electrician, or a locally owned bank or car dealer, we have a policy for you. We are the business insurance experts. Give me a call at 365-5541. We'll be glad you did.
It is a solid September here at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Hi, this is Pam Hadlock, and solid September means sales. This September, take a 15% off your purchase of everything that starts with an S. Serving trays, sofas, soap dishes, signs, sectionals, and more. It is a great time to come and see us at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located at 235 Northfield Drive, right next to the bowling alley. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, everything a home should be.
Picture KFC's world-famous extra crispy chicken. Now, imagine it glistening in hot honey sauce. Just think about the crispy, sweet heat. Now, it's in your sights. Reach for it. Almost there. Oops, it's a KFC radio commercial. But you can make your picture a reality by getting a hot honey tenders basket. KFC, it's finger-licking good. At participating KFCs for a limited time, prices may vary. Tax extra.
Fortner Gas Company is a full-service local and family-owned propane company offering services in Princeton, Cadiz, Madisonville, and Murray. Right now, Fortner Gas is offering specials on propane. Fortner Gas offers Holland and Napoleon grills, Dixie choppers, and they also have Red Max weed eaters. Contact Fortner Gas Company today for all of your residential, commercial, and agricultural propane needs. Fortner Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
Planters Bank, located at 208 North Jefferson Street, is locally owned and operated with a strong, sincere focus on customer service. Planters Bank has a diverse team of seasoned professionals in Western Kentucky and Clarksville, Tennessee. Since first opening their doors, Planters Bank has made a name for itself as an energetic player in the financial services market. Stop by and talk to the friendly folks at Planters and find out about the You Choose Rewards program. Planters Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the law office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffreysolelaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement. Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 imaging source. Sure, everyone cheers for the young people playing the game, but what about poor old Mom? Mom, who makes sure the uniform is clean. Mom, who makes sure everyone arrives to practice on time. Mom, who picks up what was forgotten and takes the item to their favorite player. Mom, who makes sure her athlete is fed and ready to go. Mom, who cheers for the team no matter what the score. The time has come to recognize Mom. Sign up today for the YourSportsEdge.com Sports Mom of the Month contest, presented by Magnolia 2 Boutique. Enter now at YourSportsEdge.com.
And back to Lady Tiger Soccer here on WPKY Princeton. We're at halftime as Caldwell County trails Hopkins Central 2-0. And Joe Mack, it's a game where we knew Caitlin Cavanaugh was a scorer. We knew Caroline Rogers were the two big scorers, but in Princeton we held them in check for a 5-1 victory. Nothing like that tonight. Here's we're playing at Madisonville in the semifinals for the 7th District Tournament. Cavanaugh with a goal about 5 minutes in, unassisted. Went around, made a good play on our defense, went in, put the shot on, nice high shot over the arms of Abby Hagan. And then late in the half, just about 2 minutes left to go before halftime, on a free kick from between 35 and 40 yards out, it was Cavanaugh again with a perfect lob right over the outstretched hands of Hagan. And that's where we stand right now, Caldwell County trailing 2-0. But on the other end, Joe, that's about all the offense Hopkins Central has had was those two kicks. Caldwell County controlled everything. We've had probably double-digit corner kicks at this point, and still not able to put nothing in the basket.
Yeah, it's a shocker, Dennis. I mean, like you said, we have controlled probably 80% of the 80% of the ball control. We've been dominant passing-wise. You just got to tip your hats to the Hopkins Central defense, who have been clogging the 18 and the 6, and any shots going on goal typically are getting deflected. And the ones that get through, you know, the goalie doesn't seem as comfortable with straight-on shots. So deflection opportunities where it looks like the Tigers have had some opportunities. They got in there right at the end. I think the score is not going to end up 2-0. I'll guarantee you that.
No.
I expect the Tigers to come out blasting here.
Yeah, it's nowhere near panic time. We've still got 40 minutes to go, and we've seen this group score. In fact, they put 5 on the board, 4 in the first half, I think, the last time they played Central. But the thing that gets me is we've had so many opportunities. Even Laney Fletcher with a nice heading attempt went off the crossbar and out of bounds to give us another corner kick. But Central is, I mean, they're even taking the kids like Rogers and Kavanaugh out of those offensive spots, and at times you look down and there's 11 people defensively back for Hopkins Central. So anything that goes in, you're probably not going to get a clear lane. You're going to get something on a rebound. You're going to get something on a deflection right in front of that goal. And we've seen the goalie for Hopkins Central, not to take anything away from her, she's made some good hard plays tonight.
Yes,
she had to slide out, had to make a run, but anything right at her, shoulders and up, she seems to be having a lot of trouble with. So we've got to, I think the one thing that Coach Miller's probably told me at halftime, we've got to crash the goal on every little thing and not let up on that at all.
Absolutely, and you know that's the type of game they're going to have to adjust and play the rest of this second 40 minutes, because that is clearly what Hopkins Central's game plan is. And you know, so far they're 2-0, so it's working. I'd like to see us convert on a corner kick, Dennis. We've had what, 10 corner kicks?
Right there, I would say, looking back on it, at least 10, maybe up to a dozen. But we've got to put some of those in. We've got to get more balls. We tried the corner kicks to play in and play back out. They didn't seem to be working. I think Coach Miller's gone with more of the lob kick, angling it towards the net right now, or he did in the last few corner kicks. But
I think that's probably smart, because that's what we're going to need. We're going to need a quick one-touch kick, get that ball in the back.
And if Hopkins Central crowded the goal or crowded the defensive half of the field after one goal with a 2-0 lead, there may be times you look up and there not be a Hopkins Central player within 10 yards of the midfield stripe if they think they can control this lead, especially if we don't cut into it in the first 20 minutes of the contest.
I agree. Looks like they're getting ready to start it up. Then I expect to see a totally different Lady Tiger team. Let's see what this next 40 minutes hold, Bud, because the winner of this goes to the finals.
And the loser gets ready for basketball season.
Yeah, this is the end of the season.
If you don't win tonight, your season is finished. So we are set to play. Caldwell County has first possession, second half. It's played by McEnany. Back up the field. They'll go up to Traylor. Traylor back up to McEnany. Caldwell County running in. Alyssa Traylor comes in and covered by the keeper. And Joe Meck, that's one of the plays that we talked about. That keeper is not scared. She comes right in on those balls on the ground and will cover those.
Yes, she makes the nice plays on those diving ones. It's the ones straight on she seems to have a little trouble with.
It's going to be Seibert playing it back to McDaniels. McDaniels back to Seibert. Seibert inside the 18. It's Traylor. Traylor has it taken away from her, but there's Fletcher. Fletcher on the near side lines up a left-footed shot. This one bounces off, and I think Coach Miller did say something, because you look up, there's Kaylee McEnany right in front of the keeper's face, and on the far side you had Sophie Littlefield inside the 6.
I can tell you they did, because Kaylee was right there. And I tell you what, you watch that goalkeeper next time, Dennis. She was over that white line. That ref was not in position.
Yeah, I think she did that a couple of times on the other end. And she comes out. That's a penalty.
Yes, that's a penalty. So we'll see what goes here. But good attacking by the Tigers starting off.
Caldwell County with the throw goes out of bounds. I think that's off of Laney Fletcher, and it's going to be a throw in for Central as they'll try to start an offensive attack. Of course, it's going to go through Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh in the battle with McDaniels. Kavanaugh gets some clearance, puts a cross on. Nobody home for Central. Nobody in the neighborhood. It's going to be an easy pickup over there for Asia Boyd. Boyd will play it up the sideline. Caldwell County has some space. They get it up to McEnany. Led her just a little bit too much. Central puts it back up. But it's going to be Hannah Young with possession for the Lady Tigers back up to midfield. Over to Seibert. Seibert has some room, puts it off to Fletcher. Fletcher with a nice run down the left sideline, puts a shot on goal. This one's going to hop, and still 2 players for Caldwell County right in front. It's Pookie and Kaylee right in front of the keeper, and she stepped well over the line on that one. Nobody's seeing that at all. She's way over the box as she punts these balls out. Central's Rogers takes it back up the field, though. She's got a pretty good angle. Stopped by Kelsey Adams.
Yeah, that
put a little flop down.
Yeah, Rogers fell over, but there was no play there.
And Central has it. They'll play it back on the right side. looking for Rogers.
Yeah, but I'm in the 6 class.
Good job by Caldwell County's defensive line. That's McDaniels giving chase. This one's going to go across the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Tigers.
Okay.
But Joe Mack, these guys with the flags have to come down on that sideline to where that ball is going to be punted from, and they're not making it down to the 18. They're staying back out to try to catch up to the play. And that's 2 or 3 times tonight we know that she has stepped over that line.
Yeah, I thought you could tell from the angle down there, but I've seen it twice now on this side. Now again, that's the referee. They should know what they have to do, and I'm not trying to ref, but that's.
Well, we are positioned right on the 18 here where we're at tonight.
Right, and when you take that ball over before you kick it, when it's over that line, that's a penalty. That's a handball.
Good job by Laney Fletcher. Puts it in the corner to Pookie Traylor. Pookie takes it deep in the corner. Puts a left-footed cross on looking for McEnroe. Gets by her. Still loose at the top of the 18. Winding up is Seibert. It's deflected at the top of the 6. Back out for Central. And it's been one of those nights. We've done everything we can but put it in the basket. Or put it in the net. I think I'm rushing basketball season just a little bit too much. I watched Pro Day last night. I guess I got a little basketball on the mind. But.
I can understand. We don't want to get to basketball too soon. That's going to be a foul on Laney.
Laney with a little trip there, a little hip check. And it's going to let Kavanaugh put this one in play. She scored from just 2 or 3 yards closer earlier in the contest, so you've got to watch how this one goes up. Hagan has to be prepared for the lob coming in.
She calls for a 10, which is a good idea. Laney's not that close, but she's within 10 yards.
Yeah, Laney's played long enough to be a wily veteran. She's going to take all she can get unless she's asked to move back.
Okay.
And
she was a couple steps up in front.
So Laney knew what she was doing. She forced the issue a little bit. About 5 minutes gone here in the second half. Another big shot coming up and caught. And that's one of the things that Coach Miller's bragged on with Hagan. That ball landed in her hands like you were just throwing a rock onto a pillow.
Yes, and it was soft hands. So here's a nice through ball for Sophie. See if Kaylee can get there.
Central gets there first, takes it to the sideline, but out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Lady Tigers. They're going to have to push the issue here a little bit on these throw-ins, too, I think, Joe, get this thing in a little bit quicker. That one goes out across the end line, though, and it'll be a goal kick for Central.
KK just not as sharp tonight. That the ball went right through her legs, so did that one. So.
And it's going to be a goal kick from the 6. Played out, nice header up in the field. Batted around a little bit now. Back to Rogers at midfield for Hopkins Central. She's got Kavanaugh on the far sideline. She's going to feed near sideline. Kelsey Adams was guarding the Kavanaugh side. Had to come over and take care of number 19 for Hopkins Central. That's Haley Dunning.
Yeah, she had to run all the way across the field there. Good play by Adams.
She was doing the right thing. She was shadowing Kavanaugh because Kavanaugh's put a couple in the net tonight. When it didn't go Kavanaugh's side, she really had to hustle to get to the far side. Now Kavanaugh has it just outside the 18, right-hand side. She's going to drop it off to Rogers. Rogers has it taken away momentarily by Laney Fletcher. Rogers again goes down.
She's looking for flop calls. He ain't going to get it.
Yeah, you shouldn't get those in a district tournament, not with that little bit of contact there. This one gets over the head of Boyd, picked up by Central. Now they have a little bit of an opportunity as they get the ball back to the middle of the field, but stolen away by Caldwell County. Ball at midfield. Seibert plays it up, warning McEnany. Extended her just a little too much. Comes back out now. Adams with the ball at midfield. She's going to put the ball to McEnany. McEnany puts the through ball up to the far sideline. It's Littlefield charging in. Ball still loose and shot by Pookie Traylor just over the net as the ball kind of spun around after the collision between Littlefield and the defender for Hopkins Central. Ball laying there for Traylor. She puts a shot on goal. It was a good shot, but cleared the bar about 3 feet, and it'll be a goal kick for Central.
Well, good opportunity here by Tigers. You know, again, just we want one of those to go in.
This one's going to come out. Good position by Laney Fletcher to get first possession. Now step around move. She's going to go down to the corner. She's got Traylor and McEnany in the box. This one's going to bounce around and kicked out of bounds. Let's see how they'll rule this one.
They're going to rule a goal kick.
It's going to be a goal kick as McEnany did get a foot on it. I was hoping it was off the hand of the keeper, but no such luck as Central will take the goal kick.
I like to see that. McEnany was right there, and that goal he did. She fumbled it. So.
Yeah, and we've seen that numerous times tonight. So Caldwell County doing the right thing, crashing much better so far here early in the second half. Fletcher has that one get away from her. Just about 8 minutes gone in the second half. 2-0 Hopkins Central. Winner goes on to play Madisonville tomorrow night in the 7th District Championship. Loser goes home for the season. Fletcher battling a couple of Central players. Now gets it through up to Traylor. Traylor has a player on her shoulder. Tried to step over move. It's going to go off of Central, and it'll be a corner kick for the Lady Tigers.
Okay,
Fletcher
Dennis.
will come near side for this one.
Let's see if we can't change something this half.
You've got McEnany, Littlefield, Seibert, and Traylor in the box for Caldwell County. Fletcher will put this one in near corner. She gets the ball set, has her players breaking. They get their lanes. Nice kick by Laney Fletcher, up, still loose.
There it is.
Headed, and just a kick save by the keeper off the head of Sophie Littlefield. And it'll be a corner kick from the other side of the field, but that was a nice charge in by Sophie.
A great charge, and that's what we're talking about. That ball gets through the 6, and all of a sudden Sophie's there, puts a great header on. Just great play by the Hopkins Central goalie.
Yeah, she has made some of the toughest plays look easy, but header by Traylor is going to go well over the net, and it'll be a goal kick for Hopkins Central.
Yeah, you're right. She's made some of the tougher plays look easy, and the easier plays look a little suspect.
It's like hitting that 230-yard fairway wood when you have trouble with a little pitching wedge getting on the green.
That's a good analogy I can understand there, Dennis. No.
It's going to be Traylor getting a rest, and Goffinette comes into the ball game for Caldwell County.
Traylor looks like she might have a...
It's a warm night here. As they have not taken water breaks. I thought they might with the heat still what it was, but I guess they figure it's cooled off enough. But still, for this time of year, very warm night.
Yeah, I think a little cramp over there for Pookie, so I hope nothing wrong with her. We certainly want her in action through the end.
We saw just a handful of those still in football on Friday night as the weather was very warm for Caldwell County's big win last Friday night. Ball played out to Boyd. Boyd with the touch. Nobody home for Caldwell County. Seibert unable to get there for that one, so Central will turn around. Nice steal by Laney Fletcher.
Great play by Laney.
Laney over to Goffinette. Goffinette with the pass back, but not leading her enough, is picked off by Central.
Yeah, Central's doing a nice job collapsing on the passing lanes. We just got to be crisp with our passing.
And you look back in, a lot of white shirts in the defensive end against Caldwell County.
Yep, they got 6 back there right now.
This one played in to Goffinette. Goffinette, top of the 18, just about 3 yards. This one's going to roll sideline. Boyd decides to take a little kick on it, puts it down. McEnany giving charge along with Fletcher, and picked up by the keeper. Maybe a little bit of an extra love tap from Laney Fletcher on that one. And she does make contact this time inside the box.
Yes, that one she did.
Ball played out to Ginn. Ginn picks it off at midfield, gets it up to McEnany, drops it back to Seibert. Seibert looking for Littlefield on the far sideline. Back over to Seibert. Seibert to push in the back as she delivered that kick, and it's going to go out of bounds across the end line. Goal kick for Central.
Tigers are taking charge for these goal kicks. Again, good passing. Keep at it. They'll get one in.
Well, one thing about it, I know Coach Miller will be up at some point tonight where we can maybe get a couple of words in, because he is going to make the call on the boys' game tonight. The boys playing Hopkins Central coming up in the second match here tonight. The winner of that one also facing Madisonville tomorrow night at 7:30 for the boys' 7th District Championship.
Well, that's nice. I hope he has a nice conversation when it comes to the boys' game, because we want to be going to the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd love to make the return trip here tomorrow night. Ball thrown in far sideline by the Lady Tigers. Put up by Seibert.
Shoot.
Seibert with the lob shot, side of the net, and out of bounds. Goal kick for Central.
Same scenario. We're doing a nice job taking control. We just got to stay with it.
This one played out first touch by Caldwell County. Kicked out of bounds by Hopkins Central. Far sideline throw in coming up for the Lady Tigers. It'll be Asia Boyd to take the throw. She'll play it back to Young. Young wanted to settle, didn't have enough time, bounced off her shin guard awkwardly, but picked up at midfield by Kelsey Adams. Adams playing the old-time sweeper spot back in the circle. This one loose. Fletcher turns, puts a shot on goal, picked up by the keeper for Central. And she'll walk out for the punt. I'm sure Central's not going to rush anything at the time. Stepped across the line again. And that's about 4 times tonight, Joe Mack, that she has been on that line and passed it to make these punts. Now it's Kavanaugh trying to look for the hat trick tonight.
Great play
saved by Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kelsey gets back now. She's one-on-one with Rogers. That one goes out of bounds, out of our view. Throw in comes up, and that's going to go off the leg of Caldwell County across the end line, and I think that's going to be a corner kick. And as far as I can remember, Joe, that may be the first corner kick from Madisonville tonight.
Yes, that is the first corner kick from Madisonville. We can't see that darn end down there, so it must have went off Caldwell player.
26.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Caldwell trails this one 2-0. We talked about it not being panic mode to start the second half. It's still an anxious time on the clock right now as Central puts the corner kick in, headed, but easily picked up by Abby Hagan.
Yeah, but it was right there. Number 8 was right there for it.
Caldwell almost didn't see the ball come out. Now Goffinette comes around, gets it up, and I think Lucy's going to be red carded as she retaliated, and it's always that second player caught.
Oh, they both got yellow cards. I was looking forward, Dennis. I didn't see what ended up happening.
Well, there was some contact just below the midfield circle on the defensive side, and it slung Lucy around. She grabbed number 2 for Central and kind of took her with her as a retaliation, but both players pick up the yellows as the referees will write that one down. One of the rare times during the season, probably the only time that the actual clock stops on the referee's whistle at times, and that's here at Madisonville during the district or regional tournaments.
Yeah, they do a nice job keeping that clock.
So it's going to be Caldwell County ball because we had possession before the double foul.
Right.
And it'll be a free kick just inside the offensive circle.
Okay.
Looks like Adams is going to come up and take this one. Caldwell County stationed. This one's going to roll from Adams completely across the end line, untouched. Goal kick coming up for Central. And you're right, Joe. The defense had a player well on up just inside the 6, but we didn't push anybody up much past the 18.
No, they all started on that line, and everybody was on it, but they didn't turn around and look. Defense went way back there.
McEnany with the first touch, gets it over to Seibert. Seibert lines up the left-footed shot, puts it on goal. Nobody crashing for Caldwell County. She drops another one, but able, with plenty of time, to bend down and pick that one up.
We're just, you know.
And well across the 18. And I don't know how nobody is seeing any of this or even making an issue out of it.
It's crazy.
She cannot come out of the box to touch anything, and she's walking out with the ball on those punts. Ball played back to midfield. Caldwell County's Young unleashes from well outside. Crashing on that one was Laney Fletcher, but picked up for the Central punt.
That one she didn't, of course, when he's watching.
And Central has it now. It's Kavanaugh looking down the field. It's going to be picked up by Hagan. And Joe, that's been about the extent of the offensive pressure for Hopkins Central tonight. Just a few balls coming down, not very many in the offensive end, but it's been Kavanaugh able to capitalize on the 2 shots she's had. Caldwell controls it defensively. Now Central steals it away, giving chase is McDaniels just outside the 18 extended. And Caldwell County is going to kick this one out of bounds. Throw coming up for, maybe that went off of a Central player. Looks like the team's going the other way.
Yeah, it's a kick. Maybe it's offsides. I don't know what it was.
May have been a handball maybe? Handball on that one. Up to midfield, first touch from Central. It's going to go across the sideline. It'll be a throw-in this time for Caldwell County. 23.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. Central leads this one 2-0. Time becoming a friend of Hopkins Central.
Good play.
Good job by bicycle kick by Fletcher. McEnany pushed in the back as she tried to gain possession of the ball. No call on that. Cleared by Central down. But there's Hannah Young for Caldwell County. She'll pick it up, go to the sideline for Boyd. Boyd has it taken away. Now Young steps back in, plays it up the field. And Caldwell County's passing not as sharp here in this little bit of a span. And it's going to be, I don't know what the foul was on that side. It's going to be a Caldwell County free kick just across midfield on the far sideline.
Yeah, they called a push. Kaylee was in position. They pushed her in the back.
Big kick into the 18. Ball bounces loose. It's pushed out. Now still loose at the top of the 18. So the keeper didn't even try to catch that one, Joe.
No,
She just walked up and pushed it back out, and it played out well for her as the ball comes out to her teammates at the top of the 18. They'll clear it now to midfield and put the run down the far sideline, which will roll out of bounds, and it'll be a throw for the Lady Tigers.
Another good opportunity for the Tigers. Just unfortunately, it's the same old song and dance. Can't get it in.
It's one of those nights so far for the Lady Tigers. You just hope something could turn around quick because we've got to have a couple of them. Now Central puts a shot on goal. Nice save by Hagan.
Clearing attempt just did not get away. It went right on the foot of number 8, who puts a shot on goal, and great save by Hagan.
Ball back to midfield. Caldwell County has possession. Now Central's going to turn it around on that defensive line, play it back to midfield. Coming up is Ginn. She'll have possession. She's got Kendall Boyd now in the ball game on the left wing.
Good ball,
They got up in the middle. It's Littlefield with the shot on goal, blocked and picked up by the keeper for Hopkins Central. Excuse me, I think that may have been Fletcher with the shot on goal.
It was.
Fletcher back into that middle spot now as Kendall Boyd has come in. Still have not seen Alyssa Traylor since she went out of the ball game with a cramp a little bit earlier. Caldwell County with offensive possession. Ball loose in the middle of the field. Plenty of Central players back defensively to pick that one up. They clear it up to Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh has it taken away at midfield by McDaniels. McDaniels still with the ball, gets it up looking for Boyd. That one's kicked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. Caldwell County does have a player set to check in.
Looked like Audrey Wynn's coming in.
So Wynn will come in defensively, and McDaniels will get a well-deserved rest. Morgan's played a good game tonight. She's had a lot of clears, took a couple of shots on goal, as she was moved well up in that first half. But just a tough night for the Lady Tigers as we're getting down to about the midway point of the second half. Caldwell County still trailing this one 2-0. 20 minutes to go in the half. We're going to take a break and be right back and take it the rest of the way. So stay tuned. You're listening to Lady Tiger Soccer on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Invite you to join Bob Hayes and me for Caldwell County football here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. This Friday night, the Tigers wrap up district play on post as they tangle with the Fort Campbell Falcons. For complete coverage of Caldwell County, remember to go to YourSportsEdge.com. We'll get it started with the Coach Barnes Show at 6 o'clock on WPKY. Right after that, it's the McGregor repeating an air pregame show at 6:30, and then it's kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Life can get messy. At Tri-Seas Incorporated in Princeton, we've got you covered. Introducing PermaPlate, the interior and exterior protection designed to keep your vehicle looking new. Inside your vehicle, the FiberGuard and LeatherGuard provide maximum protection from oil and water-based stains and odors caused by spills, rips, tears, and burns. The exterior of your vehicle is protected by PermaPlate's Paint Guard, which provides an armor against bugs, bird droppings, tree sap, sun damage, fading, and oxidation, and hard water stains. And PermaPlate's warranty is second to none. Should cover damage occur to your vehicle, they will repair no cost. Have a plate now available only at Prices Incorporated in Princeton.
Mexican cuisine, head to La Pontesina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton, Ovarian. Maria specials are a local favorite you're sure to love. Or you might want to try the new street tacos. Tacos de asada, tacos de carnita, or tacos de chorizo. La Pontesina is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9:30. And Sundays, 11 to 9. And they offer lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 3. Be sure to like them on Facebook for updates and specials. La Pontesina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton, Ovarian.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. Trilogy offers a wide range of classes to help you reach your fitness and well-being goals, like yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, and weightlifting. They have family discounts, and your first class is free. So come work out in a family-friendly environment at Trilogy Performance Sports, located directly behind Cash Express in Princeton. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports Princeton. Telephone 270-601-18.
Back to Lady Tiger Soccer on WPKY. While we were gone, a couple of flurries by Caldwell County, but still that defense packed back for Hopkins Central. At times 7, maybe 8 players inside the 18 for Central. And also a great save while we were gone by Abby Hagan.
We got one in.
And I think that's Kendall Boyd finally got Caldwell County on the scoreboard.
Oh, that's so huge, Dennis. We needed that one. That was great play there again. Moves the ball down in the corner. Kaylee Mack, and then he puts the ball, clears it all the way to the center part of the midfield. And we have who come off the bench, Kendall Boyd, makes a great aggressive play. She had a hat trick the other night against Crittenden. She's really turned into a little good phenom on the offensive end, and stays with it and puts it in the back of the net. Great goal.
Gets some life, cuts the lead in half, 2-1 now with 17 minutes to go in the ball game. That's the one we needed. Time was starting to be an enemy of Caldwell County. So the Lady Tigers finally find the basket with Kendall Boyd coming in, getting her first goal of the night.
Yeah, I tell you, that's big because, you know, we have to have that first goal.
And Caldwell County again on the attack. They put the ball across towards the 6, blocked out of bounds into the drainage ditch, but it'll be a corner kick for Caldwell County.
Nice play there, moving that ball down the side. Laney makes an aggressive play to get down to the darn near the goal line and tries to put it into the middle, McEnany in the middle, but great defensive play by Hopkins Central. Keep that one out. Let's get one here.
Fletcher, Littlefield, McEnany, and Boyd in the box for Caldwell County. And they've got the flag up, handball against Central.
They need to move that ball up about 20 yards.
Yeah, he's going to give them several yards on this one. It's going to be far side towards the sideline, but Caldwell County is going to bring it up just outside the 18 extended.
There we go, right there.
Joe, can you pick out who's making this kick?
This is Becca Siebert.
Puts a lob up.
Great.
Nice ball.
Nice it is, baby!
Fletcher and Caldwell County with 2 goals in 2 minutes. Fletcher with the goal on the assist from Seibert.
Fletcher makes a great play on that ball, and Becca, who does a number of the corner kicks, put a perfect ball up there for her. Wow, some revived life, Dennis. 2 quick goals. It's a different game.
You had to believe that something good was going to happen for Caldwell County. They just had too much offense through the first 65 minutes of the ball game. They get a couple of quick goals here in the second half, and we are knotted up at 2 and just under 16 minutes to go in the ball game now.
All right, good deal. Different game. Let's go Tigers. Let's close this one out.
Central plays it up. They're looking for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh gets a long through ball. It's Kavanaugh and Adams, and Adams kicks that one out of bounds, doesn't take any chances. She'll reset her defense. Kavanaugh's not a player you're going to take a lot of chances with. You're going to clear that ball out and get some help back there on her.
And that was from her buddy. I mean, that long pass came from number 8, so that was a set little play for them.
Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to remain a throw-in for Central.
Kind of blocks the angle here. It looks like we might have got. Oh, there it comes. Bless you, bless you. And here we go. Ball's cleared up to the center. Hopkins Central intercepts, trying to push it back down to number 8, who tries to put a through ball through, but it's going to be too far. It's going to end up being a goal kick for the Tigers.
And Caldwell County will come out with the goal kick. Joe Mack, this could come down to an exciting finish if it stays knotted through regulation.
Yeah, so
we might be here for a little while.
They have to have a winner, right? So what happens in the event of a tie? Does it go to a 5-minute overtime, doesn't it?
I think there's 2 5-minute overtimes, then it'll go to penalty kicks. So both teams landed out there on line. Caldwell County's already had one player go out what we think is cramps, as we haven't seen Alyssa Traylor back in since she went out about 10 minutes ago. Caldwell County now with Boyd. Boyd, with the first goal of the night, she puts the ball back to the middle. And Central really bringing that defense a little out, probably between 5 and 10 yards farther out to try to clear these balls out. This one's going to be played in and easily picked up by the keeper, but they're not really filling that box up like they were when they had to lead. Now they're coming out to the top of the 18 circle at times and even farther to try to clear it out to midfield. So Caldwell County may find a better lane if we can get that ball to the edges.
Yes. Oh.
It's McEnany with the ball in the middle of the field. Nobody home. Fletcher made a late run, but well late on the keeper.
I'm saying I want McEnany to make that shot. She's at the top of the line. She needs to make a move, take that shot. You notice the goalie has not gone past that line. And I see the line judge doing a little better job watching.
Yeah, we've had, that call could have been made at least 3 times tonight that we know of. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick for Caldwell County. 2-2 with 13 to go. This one played out towards Boyd. Central comes up, makes the first touch out of bounds. It'll be a throw for the Lady Tigers. Coming up after this one, it's boys action as the Tigers and the Storm will battle for a right to face Madisonville also in the boys championship come tomorrow night. Littlefield at midfield plays it up. Central really bringing that defense out much higher now, Joe. You can look at the line out here, even with the Lady Tiger dugout.
Let's go. Oh.
And they're going to call again with the push on Rogers, so it'll be Kavanaugh with the free kick. And Kavanaugh's picking up quite a bit of distance. I'm not sure about that. They're going to make her roll that back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, referee had his back turned. And
referee had to. That's right.
Speaking of veterans,
that was a smart play.
Move.
Yep. And this is where she scored from before.
Yeah, plenty of leg by Kavanaugh. She puts the ball in the air. This one's going to go well right and out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for the Lady Tigers.
Well, I know personally I feel good that went a little far right there, Dennis. She's got a great leg, and she's a tremendous athlete, and we'll give credit to Hopkins Central and their team and what Kavanaugh brings to that team. She's clearly a leader for that team.
This one cleared out up to Boyd. Boyd gets it over to Ginn. Ginn plays it to midfield. 2 white jerseys there for Central as they try to put it back down the field. It's Audrey Wynn with a nice touch. Keeps the ball in play. Lobs it over. Everybody looking for Fletcher. Fletcher comes up and has it taken away from her, but still trying to win the ball back as it goes up to midfield again.
Looks like it must have got off a Tiger player because the ref indicated a Central throw.
Central's going to throw just inside their offensive end. Coming up to make the play again is Audrey Wynn. Wynn warning Kendall Boyd. And this one's going to go down in the corner, giving chase. It looks like Adams going down to the corner till we're blocked out of our view by the stands and the concession stand. Now Central brings it back out. It's Kavanaugh open. She's got a lane, puts a shot up, puts too much hook on it. But that was tense for a moment as Kavanaugh had a lane to that far bar. And she's too good a player to miss too many of those. Caldwell County dodges one on that one.
Yeah, Hopkins Central taking a little more control of the ball here, Dennis, what we have not seen, quite frankly, earlier. So they're going to the ball a little bit, I guess, understanding that this is not wrapped up. They're picking up their intensity.
Yeah, they've blown a 2-0 lead. It's 2-2 now, and I think they're starting to feel a little of the pressure. Defense puts it up for Central. It's Asia Boyd for Caldwell County. Plays it back towards midfield. In a battle there is Seibert. Ball goes to the far sideline. That's Littlefield. Now Littlefield and Seibert converge on it. They get it back to Littlefield. Littlefield goes around her defense, puts the ball up. Through ball coming up, giving chase on the far sideline is Caldwell County. Still makes a touch. I think that's Fletcher still battling over there. Fletcher over to Littlefield. And Central clears it just a couple of yards deep in the 18.
Yeah, ball, good hustle on Fletcher's part. The ball just got a little away from Littlefield on Fletcher's pass.
Throw in by Caldwell County in front of their own bench. They'll play it into the box. McEnany in battle there. Ball's cleared back out toward Wynn. Wynn's going to play it to this side to Boyd. Boyd wants to make the step around move. Ball's kicked to the sideline by Hopkins Central and goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw. Boyd takes it down the side. Header by McEnany into the box. Cleared out by Central, and that one also goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Lady Tigers.
Nice
flip. Get it into Seibert. Seibert takes it back to the middle, puts the lob shot up,
that's in.
And in as Seibert scores unassisted from about 25 yards out.
Wow, look, it was reminiscent of their Kavanaugh's shot. Beautiful, beautiful shot by Seibert, just over the head of the goalie. Nothing the goalie could do on that one.
Seibert took the throw in and was able to turn up the field. Nobody really closed on her. She was able to dribble in about 3 yards, but still nailed one from well outside the 18. And Caldwell County with 3 goals in the last 8 minutes, and they have taken a 3-2 lead in this contest against Hopkins Central. Now it's Kelsey Adams defensively as Central feels the pressure. They're trying to get it up the field. Adams takes it away. Looks like the ball is going to go out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Hopkins Central.
Yeah, again, that same set play. They bounce it back, kick it up to Cavanaugh, who makes a run from that angle, resulting in a corner kick. So we need to clear here.
Corner kick set. We'll wait for sight of the ball outside of our view. Comes in low. Touched first by Caldwell County. Now Boyd comes out trying to clear for the Lady Tigers.
Looks like she did.
They get it up the field. Central, though, picks it off. Just about 35 yards out on the right. Deflection bounces high. It's Audrey Wynn in a battle. Central comes away with it. Puts a shot on goal. This one's going to be wide right. And it should be a goal kick for the Lady Tigers.
Hopkins Central not giving up clearly, Dennis. So they're going to play. They understand. They don't want to end their season as well. So
ball played up to near midfield. It's going to be touched by a Central player.
Yeah, it's handball.
So it'll be a free kick for the Lady Tigers from about 10 yards into their defensive end. Kelsey Adams will take the kick on this one. Sure going to let that clock milk a little bit on every play like this now. They get it up to Fletcher. Fletcher kicks it up high, heads it herself, gets it back inside the 18, looking for McEnany, taken away at the top of the 18, and cleared back towards the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Caldwell County. Winner of this one takes on Madisonville tomorrow night. Should it be Caldwell County, we'll be on the air tomorrow night at 5:30 for the championship game of the 7th District, as Caldwell will get a rematch with Madisonville.
And hopefully that will be the case, Dennis.
Caldwell County, the 2-time defending district champions.
Like to see them get another opportunity. Got to close this one out first.
And Rogers picks it up for Central. She's got Cavanaugh on the far side, drops it off to Cavanaugh. Kicked it behind her. That would have been more trouble than it was. Now Cavanaugh still gets it down to Rogers. Good job by the Lady Tigers, though, to converge on that one. 3 defenders kind of snuffed that one out real quick right at the top of the 18.
And they had Rogers and Cavanaugh with the two main ones up there.
They get it back to Fletcher just across midfield. Some bumping going on. No call on that one. Plays it over to Kendall Boyd. Hopkins Central really coming out and putting pressure on the ball well outside the 18 now, which is something they didn't do probably just about 2/3 of the ball game.
No, different looking Hopkins Central team here. Understanding the desperation, if you will, of where they're at.
We're under 6 minutes to go now as Caldwell County leads this one 3-2. Lady Tiger player pushed down at the top of the box. No call on that. Ball comes back out to Ginn. Ginn gets it over to Littlefield. Littlefield's going to take it to the corner. Nobody on her. Plays the ball towards the 6. That one's going to go out of bounds to the right of the goal, and it'll be a goal kick coming up for Central.
Yeah, that just came off Sophie's foot. A little on the side. She wanted to get that across the 6. Just wasn't able to get that whole turn in there.
Caldwell County defeated Hopkins Central earlier in the year, just a couple of weeks ago, 5-1. But this one, Joe, a much closer contest, as you had really more from Hopkins Central coming out defensively in this ball game than in that last one.
Well, you know, they've been playing pretty set defense. They're just going to close those scoring opportunities for the Tiger and almost make them shoot some from the outside or get a deflection to get in, because they've been clogging that darn 18.
Good battle on the sideline from McEnany. It's going to be Lady Tiger throw in. Hopkins Central tried to sneak one by. Official came in and said, nope, Lady Tiger ball. This one's going to go over towards the sideline.
Nice
It's flipped. It's McEnany comes through with it, puts a nice ball into the middle, just deflected at the last second, right at the top of the 6 by Hopkins Central. Caldwell County gets it back out, though. It's Young, puts the ball up, kicked out again by Central just outside the 6. This one takes a weird bounce over Kelsey Adams' head. She's able to come back and clear it ahead of a charging Kavanaugh. Ball still loose. More players going to the grass right now.
Yeah.
The referee's going to turn that one around.
Yeah, number 2 for Hopkins Central had a load of steam going on. Nothing, you know, she was trying to do. She just took out a Caldwell player.
And it's going to be Lady Tiger free kick. Adams will take care of this one just outside the defensive circle. Nice kick by Kelsey. Gets it up towards McEnany.
Yeah, good play by McEnany there to shield that player.
Central heads it, or gets it back out from the 18. Now it's number 2 and number 8. That's been a battle all night. Caldwell County again goes down.
Yeah, they're going to call. Number 2 just using too much of the hands and everything. Getting great position.
Got to feel a little frustration starting to come out on the part of Hopkins Central, as Ginn's going to have to put either a shoe or a shin guard 1 back on. That's how much the contact was coming in. Something came off, and I think it was a shin guard. She's going to have to put that in, as the referee will check his watch for some stoppage time, I'm sure, to add on to this one.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how they do that, Joey, when you got stoppage time like this, because at Central or here at Madisonville, they let the clock run and go on the horn.
Yes, they do. So I'm not sure they stopped it earlier. They didn't stop there. All right, nice ball by
Free
Kelsey
kick
there.
goes inside. Fletcher almost had the head flick. It's going to come back outside the 18. Number 2 for Central puts it up the field looking for Rogers. Big clear back down the field, and that one's going to go out of bounds. And it'll be a goal kick for Central. Big kick by Kelsey Adams, just cleared it out. But that's smart.
That's
We're down
right.
to about 2.5 minutes. Make Central go the length of the field on every possession. We'll be fine.
That's exactly right. Kelsey does a good job. She, came off to the side a little bit, takes a slow roll out of bounds, takes another 10 seconds, 20 seconds to get that ball back in play. Nice flick.
I get it to McEnany. McEnany back to Fletcher. Fletcher gets around one player. He's going to turn it around, ran out of the field. She'll bring it back to...
There it is! Nice flick
in the
by
middle.
McEnany.
That's McEnany off the assist from McDaniel.
That's beautiful. Just a great play. Fletcher gets all the way down on the goal line, puts it back to McDaniels. McDaniels, earlier in the season would pop that thing up, kept it low, put it right on the 6. McEnany takes one touch with the left foot and the back of the net. Goalie doesn't have a chance. That's what we've been looking for all game.
That should seal it up. Yeah, we had so many of those opportunities in that first half. We knew one had to go, and then you start thinking, we get down to, the 20-minute mark.
Right.
We took our halftime or our second half break. Still no goals on the board. Since then, it's been all Caldwell County, 4-2 now over Hopkins Central.
Well,
as we are about 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
And that's what you hope, Dennis, that they would be rewarded for their continued efforts doing it, and they finally had some balls going in for the Lady Tigers. So excited to see that. Hopefully that'll wrap. We can close out these 2 minutes and look forward to a championship game.
And a rematch and try to take the three-peat of district titles back to Princeton. This one cleared out, headed, and able to pick up by Hagan, as it was headed by her own player. So Hagan, with one of her few punts tonight out of the 18, gets it up to McDaniels. Caldwell County still with possession, just inside the offensive end.
Boy.
And it's going to be Ginn, and
Yeah.
Ginn's about to get tired of number 2. I think there's probably cleat marks up and down her back. It's going to be against number 2 again. Free kick for Caldwell County.
Poor Maggie. Bless her heart. She has been, but she's just so tough back there, that defensive mid. She, you know, we see her get those types of plays all season long.
Free kick comes inside the 18. McEnany got another foot on this one, gets it over to Littlefield. Littlefield has it go out of bounds on her. It'll be a goal kick.
Tickled to see McEnany come up and make a play on that ball.
So a tale of two halves scoring-wise for this game, as Hopkins Central had the 2-0 lead well into the ball game. But Caldwell County unleashes with 4 goals in the last 17 minutes, and with a minute to go on the clock, they have the 1-0 lead, or the 4-2 lead right now on Hopkins Central.
Keeping that ball in play. Tigers keeping that possession, so.
And Joe Mack, you got to hand it to the Lady Tigers tonight. This was a game they could have become so frustrated that they couldn't get that ball in the net, with so many opportunities, from corner kicks to free kicks to rebound shots, just nothing going for the Lady Tigers. Then all of a sudden they kept their head, kept their composure, and able to put 4 in the net here in the second half.
Dennis, I agree with you, as I was getting nervous.
I think we all were.
I think the Tigers, you're right, they stayed with their game plan, even coach, and were rewarded actually for what they continued to do.
Short kick comes up to McEnany. She plays it back out. Central with the ball. They try to clear it up the field. Caldwell County's brought everybody up but Adams. It's going to be Wynn with the big lob. And there's the whistle as time runs out on the scoreboard. Caldwell County, with a big second half, comes up with the 4-2 win over Hopkins Central. And they'll face Madisonville now in tomorrow night's championship at 5:30 here at Madisonville. So a great job by the Lady Tigers. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and recap this one and look at the scoring also. Then we'll turn it over to the guys doing the boys game coming your way. So all that still to come here on Lady Tiger Soccer on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
I've been partnered with the Woodall Insurance Agency for the past 13 years. In just the same way the Woodall Agency has worked hard to be your local insurance agent, I want to be the person you think of for your financial advice. So give me a call at 365-5541 or stop by our office in Princeton to discuss your financial future. You'll be glad you did.
It was a solid September here at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Hi, this is Pam Havelock, and solid September means sales. This September, take a 15% off your purchase of everything that starts with an S. Serving trays, sofas, soap dishes, signs, sectionals, and more. It is a great time to come and see us at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located at 235 Northfield Drive, right next to the bowling alley. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, everything a home should be.
This episode of the world's shortest sitcom by KFC. Like I always say, it's the inside that counts. Like what's inside my new KFC 10-piece chicken feast. It's 10 pieces of chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes, and 4 biscuits for $19.99. Get more meal for the family for under $20. That's what really matters. It's pretty incredible what chicken can teach you about life. Anyways, KFC is finger licking good. At participating
Service since 1951.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the law office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrusolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement. Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest and against the law. Stealing electricity.
Back to Lady Tiger Soccer on WPKY. Caldwell County Lady Tigers with a big win in semifinal action tonight over Hopkins Central Lady Storm by a score of 4-2. Taking a look at the scoring in the ball game, it was all Central on the board in the first half as Caitlin Cavanaugh, the leading scorer for Hopkins Central, averaging right at 2 goals a game, hit her average in the first half. She scored 5 minutes into the contest unassisted and then scored off of about a 35-yard free kick with about 2 minutes to go in the half. Hopkins Central had the lead at halftime 2-0, and actually, Joe, held that lead. We took our radio break at 20 minutes of the second half. Hopkins Central still with that 2-0 lead, and things starting to get a little worrisome for Caldwell County.
Yeah, 60 minutes in, Dennis, and I know I was worried.
Coming back off the break, though, it was all Caldwell County with about 17 minutes left in the ballgame. Kendall Boyd with a nice assist from McEnany, and Joe, I'll let you describe that one. It was a good play by Kendall Boyd, who's turned into a pretty good offensive weapon.
You know, and we touched base. Kendall, and along with the whole team, has come along so well and just so...
Technology and banking services. Take a good look at Fredonia Valley Bank. Located in Fredonia and Eddyville, a full-service, real community bank. If you're needing a new construction, checking, savings, certificate of deposit, or IRA, look no further than...
Disconnected.
Just to make your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Hi, Caldwell County. I'm Allie Coleman with First Southern National Bank, and I'm ready to service your next loan. Whether you're wanting to build...
I don't hear that. There we go.
Caldwell County Lady Tigers pick up the win tonight over Hopkins Central 4-2. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. We are back on and rolling. But, Joe, we were talking about that goal from Kendall Boyd off the assist from McEnany to get the scoring started here in the second half.
Yeah, 17 minutes left in the game, Dan, and we desperately need one in. And here, what the Tigers have been doing, they've been doing a nice job, you know, putting that ball into the 18-6, trying to get that thing. But McEnany puts it in, and Kendall Boyd off the bench comes in, and I was talking, just letting you know, well, you remember at the Crittenden County game, Kendall had a hat trick, and how much she's come on this year, and her offensive tenacity has been impressive. Well, that's what ended up scoring that for her. She stayed with that ball. The goalie was not able to corral it. She didn't give up, and eventually was rewarded by getting that ball in the back of the net. And that's our first goal, and that just changed the momentum of the game.
It did. That got Caldwell County rolling. 2 minutes later, Lainey Fletcher got on the scoreboard with an assist from Becca Seibert on a nice play from those two.
Beautiful.
Only about 6 minutes later, Seibert, unassisted, she took the throw in from the side, was able to dribble in a little bit farther. Nobody really came out to pick her up. She unleashed one from about 23, 24 yards out, found the net on that one. So at that point, Caldwell County had taken the lead at 3-2 after they had trailed the majority of the night. And although they had maybe a dozen corner kicks or better tonight,
yes,
they'd had a lot of opportunities to score, a lot of rebound shots,
and
a lot of free kicks, and just
after
nothing.
after Caldwell scored that third goal, we saw a game plan change by Hopkins Central.
Yeah.
They were much more aggressive. They were much more offensive minded. They for a period of time they shared possession about 50-50 with Caldwell. So that game wasn't over just because we scored 3 goals.
Yeah, we had the 3-2 lead, and still anybody's game at that point, especially when you have scorers like Rogers and Kavanaugh on the other side. But Caldwell County came back. They pretty much put the nail in the coffin on this one as McEnany took an assist from Morgan McDaniels and nailed a one-touch shot left-footed into the back of the net. And that was the final score. That one's the one that actually sealed it, where we could let our breath out up here and think we're going to be able to play tomorrow night with no problem.
And I tell you, that started with Fletcher, who, again, so aggressive, takes the ball all the way down to the goal line, backs it up to McDaniels, who, in the past, again, this is just coaching. In the past, she would kick that ball over the goal, or kept that ball low, puts it right on the 6. McEnany with a beautiful one-touch left foot into the back of the net, seals the deal.
And Caldwell County comes away with the 4-2 win tonight, so they will play Madisonville tomorrow night. Girls Championship moved up from Wednesday night because of the forecast of bad weather coming up on Wednesday, so that game will be on Tuesday night now at 5:30. We'll be on the air right after local news tomorrow night and bring you that one, so it should be a good game. Coming up next is going to be boys action here on WPKY, as the Tigers also take on Hopkins Central, and the winner of that one will face Madisonville as well tomorrow night in the boys championship for the 7th district. That's scheduled for a 7:30 kick. So Joe Mack, give me some of the impressions on this. I know we bragged a little bit about the girls keeping their composure because they had a bushel basket full of scoring opportunities in the first 60 minutes of that game with only a goose egg on the board to show for it. So they kept their heads. They didn't get too frustrated. I know it had to be frustrating at times for them, but they kept their heads, kept digging, and finally when they finally got that dam broke, it was just a flood.
You could tell, Dennis. Yeah, you could tell that, and I'm sure Coach Miller, spelled it out for him, and he was still coaching, but certainly not upset, even at that 20-minute mark, where we were starting to get a little bit more anxious. They continued with their game plan, and we just kept saying it. I know I kept saying it the entire game of, we're just doing everything right, just not getting in the back of the net. And I think Fletcher allowing us to open that floodgates and more of what we expected there toward the end. That last 20 minutes, and more of what we expected from the Lady Tigers from a success standpoint. They certainly put in the effort.
Oh yeah.
They took, they held possession during that first half, and I'd say it's 75-80% of the time.
Yeah, I'd say at least.
So their game plan they didn't shy away from what they knew would work. I applaud them for their tenacity and am tickled for them that they get an opportunity to defend their region their district championship. This is giving them an opportunity.
And Caldwell County did play Madisonville, if I've still got my notes.
Yes, they did.
Here from a little bit earlier.
Earlier in the season, and
it was much earlier. I've got the date right here, Joe, if I can.
And I tell you, Dennis, you can look it up, but
September 4th.
They played them pretty well for a good.
Played them and lost 7-0, but still, that was during that stretch. Caldwell County coming off a tough schedule. They had a lot of tough games. They were just starting to gel as a team back around that time. So I think tomorrow night's going to be a much different game.
And they actually had a really good first half. It wasn't that indicative. It was 1-0 or 2-0 after the first half, and they really played with Madisonville North. Now, Madisonville North, like our Lady Tigers, have also improved as the season's gone on. They are a wonderful team and a force to be reckoned with. And Coach Miller said it great the last time he was on with y'all. The Tigers are going to have what should be a excellent game, and they're going to have success getting the ball, and they're going to have to play it out with them. And
he said it's basically going to take our best game. They're going to have to make some mistakes.
Yep.
And even things up, but that's why you play them. We've seen stranger things happen. We've seen underdogs win.
Yes.
With our kids playing all the games that they did growing up. There's been upsets.
Well, and if our girls hang their head tonight after 60 minutes,
yeah, we don't even make it.
We wouldn't been in the thing. So
right. Madisonville's going to come in tomorrow night 14-2 on the season, right behind Henderson County, who is, I think, the clear-cut favorite in the region. But Madisonville is the team to beat in this district, so it's good that the girls will get a chance to defend that title after 2 straight seasons of winning the district championship. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow night. We should have Coach Miller coming back over in just a little bit as we get ready to talk to him a little bit before he takes over the headphone, and he's going to call the
boys game, and I would hopefully he's got a helper. I'd be here to help, but we got the grandkids. We get to go see the grandkids tonight. My grandkids are here in Madisonville, so.
Well, I appreciate you filling in tonight. I may give you a call tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
We've got a kind of a tentative thing from maybe our old coach Josh Ray may since he comes over here, but we're going to see about that. If not, I may have to give you a call here.
No worries.
A bit into the morning.
Well, here's Coach Miller. I'm going to pass it over to Coach Dennis.
Well, thank you tonight for your help.
Congratulations.
Well, Red, we'll get a few words from you before you get to talk for a couple hours here and call the second game. First of all, we want to thank you for stepping in to call the boys' game tonight as they go into the semifinal match against Hopkins Central. But give us your thoughts on the game. It was 60 minutes basically of us looking good offensively, getting a lot of opportunities, and just unable to put one in. Then when it did, it's just steamrolled.
Well, first of all, let's just take a great big sigh. Let's just.
Oh, we did after the first goal. We did that for sure.
But everything you said is absolutely correct. You know, we controlled the game, we controlled the ball, we controlled the midfield. Well aware they have those 2 good players that can shoot and score, which they did, and put us on our heels. You know, I think our girls a little bit came out thinking this was an easy one. We kind of just ran over them when we played them in Caldwell and did what we want to with them. And then when they got out and got a quick goal on us, that kind of threw us. But 60 minutes of controlling the ball with no goals will drive a coach batty.
And a couple of announcers just for a good measure.
Well, I mean, good gosh. But how many times have we said it? Our problem is we will not score. And I don't care. I don't know if you can hear me over there or not, how many times I told our forwards to get up high and get on those fullbacks in the back. If they don't want to do it and they don't want to score, we're going to lose. It's just that simple.
Right.
You know, looks like Lissa might be out. She's pulled her hamstring. We're going to evaluate her tomorrow morning and see where we're going with that. Just don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll just have to wait and see. But I was thrilled. You know, Kendall got us started. You know, I tell them all the time, it was an ugly goal, but it counts as one. She was in the right space where she was supposed to be. A good cross from Kaylee comes across, and she's able to put it in the net, and that got us that got the ball rolling. And then it's kind of a flurry. Now, one of the things that helped us there is Hopkins Central has been chasing us for 60 minutes. So when they chase you for 60 minutes, they're going to be tired. But you'll notice that Hopkins Central, their fullbacks never left the 3rd marker of the defense right here. They stayed right up here and never pushed forward at all. All 4 of them stayed back here. We just could not get away from what we normally do and go up there high on those goals. We just would not do it. So if we'd have lost, that'd have just been on our forwards there. Just decided not to do what they needed to do. And it wasn't because they weren't told, because they were told about every 10 seconds.
Well, Joe Mack and I noticed a couple of times, especially in the first half and then starting the second half, you could count 11 players for Hopkins Central within 30 yards of the goal at times. They would release Rogers and Kavanaugh at times to go upfield, but there were times where all 11 players were inside the midfield circle back to the goal.
Yeah, and when they released them, you know, let's face another thing too. Our fullbacks did not play normal tonight. We did not play. We were going to try something different with trying to work on something for tomorrow, and try and practice it tonight. And it was ugly. And our fullbacks we had terrible touches all over in the back there. We had shanks left and right, and all 4 of them. We just did not get our foot on the ball properly at all. I thought Becca made a big switch in her game in the second half. In the first half, I did not see what I saw in the second half from Becca, and I think that made a huge difference in our play, the way she played in the second half, especially once we started scoring. I was thrilled to do. I mean, she got at least one assist, maybe two, and then.
Well, I had her down with the assist on.
The assist for Laney for sure, because that was.
Laney, yeah.
Yeah, and then from there, and then she got the goal from way out here. That she is so consistent with the way she shoots. But anyway, every time she shoots, I think she might score. It's just because she's just good at where she shoots. If you do it a whole lot faster, she'd probably be a forward. If she was quicker with her feet, she'd probably be a forward, because we got to find somebody who's going to score.
She is tough, and Coach, we're down to about 4 minutes on the clock before they kick this other one off, and we know you're going to do the game. Give us a little preview tomorrow night. It's a chance to defend our title that we've held for 2 years of district champion. It's going to be against a 14-2 Madisonville team that's probably just a step behind Henderson as regional favorites. But it's going to be a tough matchup tomorrow night for Caldwell County.
Well, you cannot even put a comparison at all on the last 2 years with Madisonville and this year with Madisonville. They're not even in the same boat. You know, we graduated some good players, but we're playing at a good level for us. We continue to get better, and tonight we fell back a little bit, but we've continued to get better. And but Madisonville is extremely strong, and for us to win tomorrow, it would be a major upset. But that's always fun when you get a major upset.
It
so
is.
I would love to be able to get that upset and be able to, and we can if Abby has a good night and just is on fire. Anytime your keeper is on fire and you got a forward that wants to score, things can happen. It's just that simple. So that's where you get your upsets. Things go our way a few times. We can do that. And but like you said, they're 14-2, and they're not 14-2 playing the little rinky-dink schools either. They're 14-2 playing our schedule. So and we're not. So they're a fine quality team. I always give shout out to John Tishner. He's a fantastic coach. Been coaching against him for years and years and years. Don't think I beat him very much. So he's just that kind of coach with that kind of players, and it's good for his program. It's good for him. It's good for Madisonville North. It's not so good for us. But it's a good rivalry, and I'm sure they're ready to take it to us tomorrow.
Well, we're looking forward to that tomorrow night. We'll be on the air tomorrow night right after the local news, starting at 5:30 with the girls against Madisonville tomorrow night, trying to make it 3 in a row as far as district championships. Right now, we're about 2 minutes away from kicking this one off for the boys, so we're going to take a quick break and be back. Rhett Miller will have the call on the boys contest, so that's coming up in just a minute, so stay tuned. You're listening to Tiger Soccer on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
103.3 WPKY and worldwide streaming audio on WPKYonline.com. Tiger Soccer is brought to you in part by Caldwell Medical Center, Farmers Bank and Trust Company, McDonald's, First Southern National Bank, Mineral Rural Electric, Planners Bank, Tri-Shoes Incorporated, Fredonia Valley Bank, Princeton Electric Plant Board, Woodall Agency, La Potosina Mexican Restaurant, Fortner Gas Company, KFC A&W, Morgan's Funeral Home, Jeff Russo Attorney at Law, Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, and Trilogy Performance Sports. Thank you for listening to Tiger Soccer on WPKY.
Hi, I'm Dennis Stevens, and I'd like to invite you to join Bob Hayes and me for Caldwell County football here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. This Friday night, the Tigers wrap up district play on post as they tangle with the Fort Campbell Falcons. For complete coverage of Caldwell County, remember to go to YourSportsEdge.com. We'll get it started with the Coach Barnes Show at 6 o'clock on WPKY. Right after that, it's the McGregor repeating an air pregame show at 6:30, and then it's kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on 1580, 102.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Tiger Soccer is on the air on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide streaming audio on WPKYonline.com. Tiger Soccer is brought to you in part by Caldwell Medical Center, Farmers Bank and Trust Company, McDonald's, First Southern National Bank, Mineral Rural Electric, Planners Bank, Tri-Shoes Incorporated, Fredonia Valley Bank, Princeton Electric Plant Board, Woodall Agency, La Potosina Mexican Restaurant, Fortner Gas Company, KFC A&W, Morgan's Funeral Home, Jeff Russo Attorney at Law, Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, and Trilogy Performance Sports. Time to join the Tiger Sports crew at the field.
Welcome back to Donnelly Field here at Madisonville North Hopkins High School, where it's the second half of tonight's 7th District soccer action between the Caldwell County Tigers and the, looks like the, we're going to say, home team of the Hopkins Central Storm. Just followed an exhilarating first match between the Lady Tigers and the Lady Storm, where the Lady Tigers were able to pull out a 4-2 victory. It went late, deep before the Lady Tigers were able to even come away with a goal. But once they did, they were able to rattle off about 4 of them in 20 minutes. So that's able to get them to tomorrow night's finals action between where they'll meet up with Madisonville North Hopkins again in the finals. That tends to be a regular matchup we hear and see every year. I'm not sure if since being in this district, I don't believe we've ever had a finals that's been any different on the ladies' side. So tonight, the Tigers hope to have a similar outcome where they can advance to the finals. You've got the Hopkins Central Storm coming in with their leading goal scorers of 6 goals. Similar schedules between the two. You've got the records are a little different as far as results go. You've got Caldwell County comes in 2-13-1. Hopkins Central comes in 6-11-1. The goals for Central 38. The goals for Caldwell 19. So Central is a little bit higher on the pecking order in the region. But this is normally a tight competition as they get ready to announce the starters for this matchup. Actually, we're going to probably go ahead and jump off and real quick and get another word from our sponsors before we get this game underway.
Buy a vehicle where the sales team has combined experience of over 103 years. At Tri-Chief Incorporated in Princeton, we would love for you to meet our friendly and experienced sales staff. Brent Ladd, a Princeton native, has been selling cars here for 20 years. Tommy Harrison, native of Fredonia with ties in Princeton and Lyon County, 13 years. Lee Hughes, Trice's grandson, has been here for 9 years. Ron Croft from Crittenden County, 8 years. Glenn Gray, another of Trice's grandsons, 3 years. And the newest addition to our sales team, Jared Singleton, originally from Marion, now living in Princeton. Our sales manager, Trent Burton, has racked up 30 years in the car business, and our finance director, Shauna Jaggers, with 20 years in auto finance. Shop where experience counts. Tri-Chief Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
For authentic Mexican cuisine, head to La Pontesina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion. Money and specials are a local favorite you're sure to love. Or you might want to try the new street tacos. Tacos de asada, tacos de carnita, or tacos de chorizo. La Pontesina is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9:30. And Sundays, 11 to 9. And they offer lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 3. Be sure to like them on Facebook for updates and specials. La Pontesina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. Trilogy offers a wide range of classes to help you reach your fitness and well-being goals, like yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, and weightlifting. They have family discounts, and your first class is free. So come work out in a family-friendly environment at Trilogy Performance Sports, located directly behind Cash Express in Princeton. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports Princeton. Telephone 270-601-1824. This is Holly Van Hoover with the Woodall Agency in Princeton, Kentucky. Are you wanting the best options that meet your needs? If so, call our friendly and professional agents who are just a phone call away at 365-5541 or visit our website, woodallagency.com. We will give you a free quote for your home, auto, or even your business. We will get back with you on the best options that meet your needs. Our office is located at 110 West Washington Street. Call Woodall, y'all.
It is a solid September here at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Hi, this is Pam Havelock, and solid September means sale. This September, take a 15% off your purchase of everything that starts with an S. serving trays, sofas, soap dishes, signs, sectionals, and more. It is a great time to come and see us at Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located at 235 Northfield Drive, right next to the bowling alley. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, everything a home should be.
Welcome back to WPKY 1580 and also 103.3 The Tiger, as we're bringing you 7th District soccer action between the Caldwell County Tigers and the Hopkins Central Storm. Right now they're announcing the starters for both teams of this contest to be getting underway here shortly. I mentioned a little bit about the similarities between the two. Both of these teams met up earlier this season. The game was a close one into the second half when there was, I guess really you chalk it up as a couple cheap goals ultimately that led to Hopkins Central to get out in front, and then it was kind of a snowball effect. I believe the final contest of that one is 5-2, if I remember correctly. I was there, but sometimes I like to check that one out of my memory. So let's see, 5-1 was the score of the first matchup. You had quite a few, I mentioned you had Ryan Caballero and let's see, Gavin Lear both with 2 goals in that match. So we had mentioned before that Carlos Cifuentes and Emiliano Cifuentes both are leading goal scorers for the Central team, with Emiliano a total 18 points on the season, assists and goals. So our leading goal scorers both tied Colin Schaefer with 4 goals, and Jack Kinsolving both with 4 goals. And it's one of those things that we've been struggling all season to try to find what fits and what works. So you've got tied for second, and our leading goal scorers is our goalkeeper. So it's one of those things where you've got players here, players there, and we're trying to find that mesh. And I think it's starting to become something a little more efficient as far as the lineup goes. Is we've got 6 seniors on this team that knows this is survive and advance. They don't survive, it's over for them. Hopefully they win this game, they get a couple more games left to play. And you'd like to see that the fight that these kids have came up with and that's played all of their life, or some of them, they could pull one out and able to get one here and advance to the championship tomorrow. As this game, ball is set down in the center of the field, referees look to start it. Looks like players are set up. Caldwell going to be on the white, heading north to south. Central in the dark navy blue, heading south to north. Caldwell County wearing the white jerseys. They do have the darker numeral, so it may be okay to see. Probably be joined a little bit later here by coming off a fresh win, Coach Rhett Miller with the girls that give me a hand here in just a little bit. So as this ball game is underway, Central looking to attack fast down the right-hand side, and the ball is going to be called offsides. Barrett Schultz steps up about 20 yards away from his own goal on the left-hand side, looking to play this ball back in. Again, we mentioned the 2 goal scorers from earlier this season when we played them, but the 2 leading goal scorers didn't score against us. So Central has an even attack across the board, and the defense of the Tigers are going to be tested tonight. As Barrett Schultz sends that one over the half-field line, Darian Francis finds Blake Vivrette. Vivrette trying to play it forward, takes a deflection. Nate Paredes plays it back to Barrett Schultz. Barrett Schultz now looking out wide. That is Darian Francis on the left-hand side again. Once I get these names, number 9 again floating with the offsides line. The linesman keeps his flag down, tries to beat Paredes on the right-hand side. Paredes is able to recover, bodies him, and plays the ball out for a corner kick. Number 9 for Central, that's going to be Carlos Cifuentes. Mentioned earlier that he is actually second leader in points this season for the Hopkins Central Storm. It's going to be the first corner kick for either team. Ball's played in, look to the 18, ball takes a deflection, finds Colin Schaefer now, trying to start the counterattack. Schaefer over to J.J. Harrell. J.J. Harrell takes a touch down the line, looking to play the ball through to Jack Kinsolving, but it is snuffed out by the Central defense. Now looking to go the other way. Ball tiptoed down this near sideline. Central plays one through. Nate Paredes in again in a good defensive position and just plays it out, wants to reset his defense. Number 14 for the Storm is going to be Seth Allman on this near side. Takes the throw in. Looks great job by Michael Henry to win that ball. Finds Jack Kinsolving at his feet. Kinsolving looks to turn. He turns and faces 4 players. The ball gets knocked away, but Schaefer is there. Now it's a 2v7, 2 versus 7 almost there, as Central did a great job of getting back and denying any kind of counterattack. Ball is played now by, I believe that's going to be, trying to figure out, I didn't write the players down on my team because I normally would know their names, and I went blank. Who's the outside back? Hunter Trimble on the left-hand side is able to get back, and this time the attack is called offsides on Hopkins Central again, as the Tigers are pushing high somewhat. It's a good line. It's not too high so far, and it's not too far back, and giving them a lot of space. So if the Tigers can be a cohesive defensive unit, they can use that offsides trap to their advantage. As Barrett Schultz looks to play one in near the dugouts, does so, puts one about 20 yards away from the goal. Jack Kinsolving's running on, and desperate defending there by the center back is able to head it back to his goalie, who picks it up and collects. Ball's now punted out, and that's going to be Ethan Witherspoon looking to win that header. Ball's thrown in now by Hopkins Central. Again, Ethan Witherspoon plays the ball in. Michael Henry looks to play it up, and the ball now bouncing around. Blake Vivrette looking to keep a little possession as he drops it back to Ethan Witherspoon. Witherspoon again drops it, finds Michael Henry. Henry to Bannister. Bannister to Schaefer. Schaefer looking for a seam, finds it, plays it through, and a shape of the Hopkins Central Storm is able to get back. As now Central Storm is looking to counter. Ethan Witherspoon with speed was able to step in front and now tries to turn it on the attacker. Number 6 is Jesus Gallegos trying to attack, and Tigers again do a good job of snuffing out that attack. Coach Miller, so far in this game, 5 minutes in, what are you seeing from both teams out here?
Really what I'm seeing is a little bit of disorganization from both squads. Jack Kinsolving on a run right now could put something in the home, but we have not seen a lot of organization from either squad. Kind of just, if anybody, it's Caldwell's had more organization to what's going on and the way they work the ball from the midfields to the fullbacks.
Yeah, Caldwell County has taken a few moments to try to keep possession and try to draw out a few of the attackers and create some space. As now Schaefer looks to counter, I guess, again, maybe try to find a little possession, looks to switch the field, does so, finds Blake Vivrette in the middle. Vivrette trying to get past one, fails to do so that time, as now Central is now on the counter. Heavy touch by Gallegos, and Witherspoon there to clean it up.
You know, Ethan Witherspoon there did a good job of dropping back when his center back did a good step to the ball.
As Witherspoon uses speed now, trying to get down this left-hand side to recover, is a heavy touch by 14, and Witherspoon is there, knocks it out for a corner kick. That's a slight adjustment from Coach Schaefer, as Witherspoon is playing an outside back. Now, he's done that some this year, but here in the last few games, you've seen him as a center back.
You know, I haven't seen a lot of games, but how often has Jack been forward? I have not seen that yet.
As a header is on frame almost. They're going to say it took a deflection. It's going to be another corner kick. Actually, the last part of the season here, the last few games, I think since Trigg County, Jack has played forward at some point in every game, and Kinsolving's actually scored in just about all of those games. I think that he didn't score against Trigg County, but I think every game since then he has scored. As the ball's floated in on the corner, the ball dives. Number 14 with a shot on goal, and it goes just high. As everyone wasn't quite sure if that ball was in play or not. It seemed quick corner by Central. Witherspoon looked to clear. It fell to 14's feet. 14 again. That's Seth Allman, and the shot went over the crossbar. Ken Solving, as mentioned earlier, he's not one that's going to beat you with speed, but he likes the ball played at his feet. But you do have some speed when, and a little of Schaefer and Vivrette that's behind him if they can ever get an overlap. So it can work, and it has occasionally. In these games, one goal might be all we need. Hunter Trimble now defending as he goes to clear. The ball is deflected out for a Caldwell County throw-in. A lot of this first half so far, 8 minutes into the game, has been played on the Caldwell County's defensive side, but there hasn't been too many dangerous opportunities for Central.
Now, there hasn't been much penetration of the 18 right here, and that's a good thing for Caldwell. I say that, and here they get ready to, but no, they still didn't. So good job keeping them out of the box.
Colin Schaefer now looking to attack. So far, the Tiger defense has held a good shape. As you see, they're all moving up as a group until that moment right there. Ball is played across, and it's offside.
They're going to call offsides.
We're going to say Tiger defense got lucky on that one.
Got very, very lucky. Not real sure why he didn't. The guy in the Storm did not shoot. Instead, he passed it off. But I don't just.
Kind of like what you were saying earlier with your Tiger team, your Lady Tiger team. Are you wanting to score or not? And that would have been one of those moments where the original shooter should have taken the shot.
Yes, but give credit to Hopkins Central's attack right there, because they put a through ball into the box, which they had not done yet. So that was a mix-up of, and then our guys did not see that coming nearly as well as they thought they should have.
Oh, absolutely. And I just mentioned about how cohesive the defensive unit was, and at that moment, I can't remember the player, but he was late moving up with the defense and was able to keep two players on side. And that in turn almost led to a first opening goal, but instead we're still knotted at 0 10 minutes into this first half. Darian Francis now works the ball on the left-hand side, trying to find feet. Goes to play it in, and it is deflected. Number 2 for the Storm comes away with it. Number 2 is going to be Ryan Vaughn. Colin Schaefer collects, picks up, head that comes up in the middle, looks to find.
He was looking for Jack. He was looking to set him up.
Sometimes you see they're almost stacked in a lot of situations, and that doesn't give you for a very good angle to make some of those through passes and seam passes, and so you'd like to see both of them moving off of each other a little more, just a little bit, one window away. But as the Storm looks to attack now, we have players back. Schaefer goes down, tries to break up the attack, and with the help of Michael Henry does so momentarily.
He does break up that attack with that slide, because the guy had to put it forward so much that our fullback was able to get to that easily and win that ball. So give a little credit to Schaefer on that one.
As Hopkins Central now looks to attack down the right-hand side, that's going to be Andrew Risley now working the ball down, winning it back, trying to play Jack. Jack's all alone up top, and now out of position, quickly tries to get back. Colin Schaefer with the ball, trying to play him through, but again, there's 3 defenders back for Central.
Well, I just don't see Jack making that kind of run and getting the speed out there in front. That's not his forte. But this is, if Colin can get the ball to that spot right there and get a ball to him, that could get something. Colin went to the outside there and then passed it back into Jack on the inside. That's where they could get something. I don't think a through ball from 40 or 50 yards out is going to work for Jack Kinsolving.
No, absolutely not. If you're going to have those, and he has scored on a couple, it's going to be within 20 yards. It's going to be a slip pass within 20, 25 yards in, and it's a one-touch, two-touch goal. And but to beat some of these defenders from 40 yards for Jack, if he's going to do it, he's not going to be in the game very long. He doesn't have that kind of stamina. So, so far trying to find feet as they find top of the 18. Jack takes a touch, a heavy touch, still has the ball. Now trying to look up and find help as he drops the ball back to number 2 is going to be Witherspoon, who drops it all the way back to Henry. And this is discipline that you see out of the Tigers right now, who are trying to keep possession and just move the ball around. And does so momentarily as the ball bounces ahead, trying to find Kinsolving.
Well, I thought that was going to get through.
They both went up, and Central player was able to win it. Tigers looking good for the moment as they're trying to.
As far as organization goes, right now the Tigers have much better organization.
And that's what you want to see. The Tigers have really struggled this season on the results. And we knew going into the season that it was going to be a tough year. Had some young players and you know, playing some players with little experience. But that's why you play those players, and you hope to get better, and you continue to work and turn. And so hopefully this game will be the result of all the work they put in as the ball is played through. Looking down the left-hand side, looks like J.J. Sherrill, or J.J.
That's Darian Francis.
It is Francis on the left-hand side. Mentioned earlier about the white shirts, and get on the far side, and a few years younger, but I got worse eyes than you do, I guess.
Well, I just recognized his hair. He is distinguished, a very distinguished hair.
Schaefer now looking to defend, 25 yards out. Ball's played to Central down the right-hand side, off his heels. Vibrett picks it up, looking to play one, finds Jack's feet, back to Vibrett, and it is cut out.
Now that will work. If you can go Jack to his foot and then Brad Vibrett with a little bit of speed to the side. I mean,
his son Blake, he's pretty quick.
Yeah, okay, Blake Vibrett. I call him Bob anyways.
If we get Brad out there, and who knows what's going to happen. But
something's gonna get pulled.
Ball now is played through by Central, goes over the defense, but Henry is able to get back and clear that one in. Henry there again, able to win it, trying to save it before it goes out of bounds, and does so, finding Colin Schaefer in the middle of the field. Schaefer looks to switch, finds J.J. Harrell this time on the right-hand side of the field. Kinsolving making a 50% run, false run almost, but it applies enough pressure to earn a throw-in at midfield. So going from R18 to midfield with possession, Tigers look to advance now.
But if you look at the field right now, if you look at the far corner over there, the ball's up here at the midfield level, but on the right-hand side. But a ball to the far corner right here early might give us an opportunity. Well, there it goes to the far corner. Not really through, but kind of as a side pass.
It wasn't quite the opportunity we intended. As Jack went to turn, the defender actually cleared it that direction for us. As now it's cleared all the way back to Barrett Schultz, who has time. All the Tigers are still pushed up the field as the ball is played up, and now the Tigers need to retreat as the ball now looked to chip the plate over, and Michael Henry is able to do a phenomenal job there to win that one and play it over the first line of attackers. Again, Central looking to attack down this near side. Ball does stay in as he looks to beat Witherspoon. Takes a step over. Again, chops back, tried to get it on his left foot. It just crowded out.
Missed opportunity for the Storm right there. He had that guy beat and decided to cut it back and be in a place that he shouldn't have been to.
Probably the importance of a left foot. As the ball is now played through, shot is on, and thankfully, well, that's a save for Schultz. As he got a foot on it, it takes a deflection off the post. Another 6 inches bigger on the goal, and that ball bounces in off the post. But again, that time Henry was about 3 steps behind the rest of the line as a huge punt is played in. 2 hops, and Kinsolving's there, able to, at the top of the 18 on the right-hand side.
We've got nobody up there with him. We got one person there. Now finally some people can start to get in the box right there.
Kinsolving doing a good job of winning the ball, plays the ball at the top of the 18. Bryson Bannister with a touch. Ball pops up, mishandled. Bannister again with a shot on goal, and right side keeper picks that one up. But the initial punt from Barrett Schultz, 2 hops, and he's at the opposing 18. I mean, that's something. I mean, a lot of people, we've had some good keepers, but that's a leg.
And that was a good showing out of Bryce Bannister right there, getting the ball right outside the 18 and being able to take a shot. I haven't seen him take a lot of shots throughout this season. That was a good. It was on target. It was in between the posts. Keeper made a good save on it.
We mentioned earlier a little bit about the shot that Central took and the save of Barrett Schultz, but again, it comes from the defensive unit being just a little off. Like I said, it had a center back that was 2 or 3 steps further, and that allowed an attacker to get in as the ball now looks to attack from the Tigers. Colin Schaefer in the middle of the field looks to put a shot on frame with his left foot, but it is cut out, and now Central looking to go the other way.
But again, a through ball to the left-hand side right there would have been fantastic. But I don't believe Darian's ready for it over there. I don't think he knows to go to that spot. That was a really good through ball by the Storm right there.
A little too heavy as an attacker on the right-hand side of Central. I can't get the number. Ball rolls out of bounds before he's able to get it across. Yeah, you mentioned Darian Francis being on the left-hand side. It would not be unusual to see other faces on these wings as well, as that's a place that throughout the games Coach Schaefer has liked to change places and change players. As you've seen Bob Blake move on the outside. You've seen Andrew Risley come up that left-hand side, score a goal, nice goal against Mayfield. I mean, so that there's options when we need a goal, but you may see a little bit later in this game as Central looking to attack again. Ball drops to the 18, falls just outside of the 18, shots on. A little trouble for Schultz, but he's able to pick it up and now collect.
I don't foresee them scoring on Schultz from 20 yards out like that.
You know, and just to mention off the top, I mean, it's great to see Schultz playing tonight. Was unsure kind of the end of that game as that ball again takes off the bounce of a defender's head and it goes to the opposing keeper.
I don't think it ever hit the head. I think it was just a screamer that got through. But
wow.
That's a heck of a kick from Barrett Schultz.
And you know, that's you talk about Schultz. I mean, he's an a past region all-region goalkeeper, and I mean, for him to be out here as a huge benefit. And so that was one thing that was kind of concerning at first, but as the ball's now played back to Schultz again to clear, does so, and looking for Schaefer. Number 14 for Hopkins Central, Seth Alman again on this left-hand side. Alman one-on-one with Michael Henry doing a great job of standing him up and just playing it out. Now they need to reset. That's something they seem to attack a lot this first half is this left-hand side. And as you mentioned, they gave up a good opportunity earlier that was, he was in on goal if he would have just went and took off running, dribbling, but he decided to put it back on his right foot. Number 9 for Hopkins Central now. Carlos Cifuentes now to throw the ball in. Looking 12 yards out, Witherspoon able to come up. Ball pumps out to the 20, about 20 yards away. Shot on frame, and
again, I'm not worried about that shot. For Caldwell, I'm not worried about one bit. If he's going to shoot from 25 on Barrett Schultz, being a 2-year all-region, look at that, and
wow,
that's an 80-yard punt right there. Right?
That ball could very easily wind up being an assist here soon, late in this game. We got the likes of Ethan Witherspoon in our back line, who, if that ball ever clears the defense, somebody like that could get on the end of one.
Well, Blake Vibrett he's got the speed up there too, but
sure,
just put him up there. But you know, if we want that opportunity, we're going to have to take it. Opportunity here for the Storm is everybody thought he was offside, but he was not.
Paredes with the wheels to recover. I mean, Paredes made a 40-yard run to put pressure on the shooter, and it wound up just being a roller, an easy pickup for Schultz. And it was kind of a miscommunication as the outside back stepped in to help defend, but you know, they were able to nothing doing on that attack by the Storm. Vibrett now looking to chip the ball, almost clears the defense. Again, Vibrett on the ball takes a heavy touch, but Hunter Trimble there to collect. Bryson Bannister takes a touch, trying to run through, but there's 4 Central jerseys in the middle of the field. Ball now look through ball played. Schultz has to come out and play that one with his feet. Right now it's kind of scrambling to find possession as Bannister picks it up, finds Witherspoon, defender on his back. That's Cifuentes. Cifuentes comes away with it, trying to play the ball through. Good job by Bryson Bannister just keeping him there. Kind of in his back a little bit, but it's good. Nothing bad there. That there is a foul.
That was a good no turn by Bryson, right up into that last little push there at the end. But you know, foul's a foul.
Foul's a foul, and there's nothing. It's not too bad. You're 40 yards away from goal, so I mean, there's nothing to give away there. It'd be nice if you come away with a ball, but sometimes you got to be a little risky to come away with those and spring a counter yourself. Ball free kick is played in. Vibrett goes up and wins that one, and we got one player, Kinsolving up top, trying to battle to gain possession, and they're going to say it is a Caldwell County free kick as they got into his back a little bit. Looking to chip the ball over the defense again, but
he is the absolutely only person up there. If Jack doesn't get it and score, there's no button. Now here comes Blake Vibrett on the left-hand side. He could do something with it right here. Ball's taken away from him right off his foot. He can do. I'm sure he can do better than that.
Schaefer looking to cut the ball back on 2 defenders, does so, trying to still get around through. Does again, now cuts it back to Blake Vibrett on the left-hand side. Ball's played in, whipped in, and what a goal! What a goal by Blake Vibrett. Right-handed, bending in, far post. Comes at the 18-minute mark left to go in the first half as the Tigers are leading 1-0 here at Madisonville North. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break as Caldwell County takes this lead. You're listening to Caldwell County Tigers soccer action on 1580 AM, 103.3 The Tiger.
Picture KFC's world-famous extra crispy chicken. Now, imagine it glistening in hot honey sauce. Just think about the crispy, sweet heat. Now, it's in your sights. Reach for it. Almost there. Oops, there's the KFC radio commercial. But you can make your picture a reality by getting a hot honey tenders basket. KFC, it's finger-licking good. At participating KFCs for a limited time, prices may vary. Tax extra.
Porter Gas Company is a full-service local and family-owned propane company offering services in Princeton, Cadiz, Madisonville, and Murray. Right now, Porter Gas is offering specials on propane. Porter Gas offers Holland and Napoleon grills, Dixie choppers, and they also have Red Max weed eaters. Contact Porter Gas Company today for all of your residential, commercial, and agricultural propane needs. Porter Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
Welcome back to Donnelly Field, and this is WPKY 103.3, the Tiger, as the Tigers lead 7th District action here in the semifinals over Hopkins Central Storm, won by a score of 1-0, 17 minutes left to go in the first half. You've seen off the opening, or the re-kick, I guess, to get play back underway, Central looked to play a quick one. I was able to clear the whole defense. It was 2 players, and just take a heavy touch, and Schultz was able to be there. But that's kind of a scary moment, and it's one of those things that the Tigers have only had a couple times this season where they have been leading, but this is a good position to be in early in the game.
Let me tell you what this does for Caldwell County right now as far as Hopkins Storm. One, the Storm like to hang back, and they can't hang back when you're down. It's just that simple. So you're going to see them pushing forward a lot more than they were, which might open up the game up front for us a little bit.
As the attack now is on by Central to play one in, and Schultz is able to come out. Already you've got, it looks like an extra defender that was back on the attack as Bob now collects the ball in the center circle, trying to find Bryson Bannister, does so with space on this right-hand side. Bannister looks up, tries to slip one through, and it's headed away by Central defense. Now looking to break as Bryson gets on the end of it again, trying to play space, but a little too far that time for Schaefer.
Bryson did a good job of retreating back when Bob came to the front. I got to keep calling him. Blake Barbrett comes to the front. He did a good job retreating back to take that ball right there, and a good opportunity for him. Put it up front, and we almost had something from that.
Well, it's one of those things that you've mentioned earlier in the broadcast a couple different times. Is you almost, as the Tigers, they've played all season with each other, and a lot of the times that they've played many years, they have to know who they're playing with. And I say that by, you have to know, can you play that ball 10 yards in advance into space and then get on the end of it? Or do you need to play it to their feet? And certain players, some of these players need to know and do, I think, once they start really thinking about who can they do this with rather than just kicking it. And when that happens, the good things happen. Now is a corner kick on the far side. It's Colin Schaefer now looking to bend a outswinger in, far post, ball goes up. And Michael Henry wanted that one, kind of out jumps it, and ball rolls all the way across now. Central looking to break.
They got numbers here. They're pushing forward very quickly, and they're going to look to try and put it through quickly.
Ethan Withercombe slides over, able to defend just to slow up the attack, and sometimes that's all you want to do on a counter.
That's all it takes right there. Just slow down, slow the ball down, stop the progression.
And now you've got numbers, and now the Tigers are able to win it. Bryson Bannister looking to play Jack Kinsolving through this time, 1v1 with the outside back.
That's where the lack of speed is just a problem. He could have gotten there, but it's just tough.
And it's one of those things, sometimes when you're close to the goal, he can get 1 or 2 steps on you. Mm-hmm. But if you give him space, you're going to probably recover. And sometimes, like I mentioned, that's one of those times, maybe you just slow it down and know he's the only option and try to get some other players involved.
Well, good ups by Blake Barbrett right there.
That's one of the, on the earlier broadcast this season, as ball slips through now on the right-hand side. Central looking to attack. Michael Henry back in the center of the field. Ball is crossed, and Schultz is there to collect high. You did have players marked up, so hopefully you'd like to think that the Tigers were able to collect that one, but clear that one away if it did get through. But Central did have some players attacking on that far post.
Holy moly, another 85-yard punt, 80-yard punt. Nobody there to receive for the Caldwell County Tigers. Colin Schaefer now has the ball, looking to go to the outside. He does go to the outside of Darian Francis. Darian Francis on a 50-50 ball. And the Storm looks to retrieve that ball and kicks it out of bounds right over there by the scoreboard.
Looks like Coach Schaefer with a slight formation adjustment as he drops Jack Kinsolving back into a center mid role where he started the season, and Bryson Bannister is actually playing that target position. And again, it's kind of a like for like almost, because Bryson's not going to get on the end of a lot of through balls. However, it does kind of give you a little more creativity, maybe a little more defensive pressure in the midfield.
Well, Colin and Jack work well together, so if they can play together at the midfield level, they might be able to one-two each other multiple times and be able to get a shot off.
Well, sure, and you'd like to think that the scoreline now, with 13 minutes left to go in the game, has a little something to do with that. As you know, it's not all about scoring; it's kind of controlling the game at this point.
But the Tigers are going to have to do a little bit better job of forming up their back line right now. Their back line they've let some people through quite multiple times here, and that they've gotten lucky on a few goals, and of course having an all-region keeper, that's a big thing. We'll see what happens with that. But right now they have good structure right now. But you'll see as they try and push these guys through quickly, that's some smart hole. You got to go to it.
Wow, shot is on. I'm busy watching the game. Shot was on inside about 12 yards away, and ball's played over the crossbar that time. Looks like number 7 for Central. That's going to be Julio Rivera Mena, who again has, I believe that's 4 goals on the season for the Central Storm. You know, to a lot of teams that doesn't sound like a lot, but for the Tigers, 4 goals is our leading goal scorer. So, you know, that's something that we haven't had a whole lot of this season. But again, it only takes 1 to win a game, and right now the Tigers are up 1-0 in the first half. As Andrew Risley looks to cut the ball inside on his defensive half, Vivrette now to play the ball outside to Darian Francis. Francis able to D up the Hopkins Central defender.
Good pressure by Darian Francis. Now Colin get this ball to somebody right now. See, there we go. There's the 1-2s by Jack and Colin that you can see it. They can work that at the midfield. They can get something. And the ball goes back to Jack. The Storm takes over, but you'll see exactly what they're doing. As soon as one of the midfielders get the ball, they're just going straight forward, hoping for a through pass.
Absolutely, and that's the only running. That's the big thing. That's the only running that the Central attack has been doing, is running forward through our defensive line. Now, when the center mid gets the ball, Jack or Schaefer, they're having to defend a little bit, chase the ball a little, and that's going to pay dividends late in the game. Kinsolving now looks to play the ball through. That is Schaefer on the left-hand side. Schaefer now 1v1 on the left-hand side. Looks and takes touch around the defender. Ball's crossed. Look in the middle of the field. Ball's in. Oh, ball falls around. Bryson Bannister trying to get on the end of it, but it's going to be played out by Central momentarily, and still trying to bring the ball up the field.
Great cross by Colin Schaefer from the left-hand side over there, trying to get ahead on it with Bryson Bannister, and he was almost there. Weatherspoon did a great job defending right there. His speed is a big plus on the outside.
You see a little bit of push and shoving. This is soccer. You're going to see some of that, especially as the game continues. Both of those players are physical, though, and you know, no harm, no foul. And the ball continues to play as Central now looks to attack down the right-hand side, but it's going to go out for a Caldwell County throw.
Yeah, there was absolutely no foul there. That was just good hard play. We like to see a good no call by Mr. McCann and the center ref, and we'll see what starts to happen with that. I was very pleased to see that ball from Jack to go to Colin, and then Colin to beat somebody and then cross that ball. A great opportunity for the Tigers right there.
For the sake of you may happen to have one of these as a center tomorrow, I believe this might be the best officiating crew this side of Kentucky.
Well,
you might earn a caller.
You're trying to bait me. That's what you're trying to do.
No. This is second to none right here. So as the Tigers now look to.
I was very pleased with the officiating in our game, in the first game. I thought the center ref did a very good job controlling the ball. Control the game, and he did something that you don't see a lot of refs do, and he was making sure that the play developed before he called the foul. The play developed, and he didn't call foul back in there, so he gave us advantage multiple times there.
Sure, and that's something that I'm. I've in my coaching days, there's been a whole lot changing on the call side, but you know, sometimes you like them, sometimes you don't. As Francis now looks to try to play the ball up the field, but so far this game has been a good game, both sides. at that moment right there, some novice soccer fans may have seen a Central player drifting way off sides, but it was their throw-in. So if a ball gets over the defense, you've got to know he's there because he's not off sides on that throw. But he was stretched all the way, probably 12 yards away from the goal line, and luckily the thrower just didn't have the guns on him to get it down there to him.
Andrew Risley throws the ball in, a header by Darian Francis to the front. The ball comes to the middle of the field.
Going to be, again, formation changes back as Ken Sullivan goes back to the top. Risley trying to clear one out down the left side and able to do so momentarily. Goes to the first defender, and now Central's looking to break the other direction. And you can see exactly what Central's been trying to do, and they've done it a couple times. Luckily for the Tigers, they've been called back for a couple different reasons, but they're just flirting with the defensive line of the Tigers. Well, and if they're not shaped up just right, it's going to be a long night.
The Tigers are playing extremely flat, and they don't have the speed to be playing too flat back there. So they're going to have to really do a better job of keeping that. Somebody's going to have to drift a little bit to the backside when somebody else steps to the ball.
I mean, and that's the line of confrontation as that ball's played in about 12 yards, and they're going to call a push in the back. That's going to be a penalty. That was soft.
Well, I don't really know what he saw.
Yeah, I mean, we're on similar sides, but I mean, I'm going to have to tell him at halftime I gave him a compliment earlier in the game because the player didn't go down. Actually, he won the ball and he went through the defense. So maybe we'll see what happens here as now the ball's spotted.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I like that call. Well, I know I don't like the call. I didn't say anything, but and it goes against us. Of course I don't like it.
Schultz now on his line looking to stop this one. Goes the other way as now it's 1-1. Hopkins Central tied with Caldwell County. 7 minutes left to go in the first half. I can't pick up, I believe that's number 6. Believe that's number 6 for Central. That's who I'm going to give it to. Jesus Gallegos. Going to tie things up, and again, not sure.
I'm not sure what the call was, but I don't. Generally to get a PK, and this I really don't agree with. If there was a foul, then it should have been a PK. There's no doubt about that. If there was a foul, it should have been a PK. Generally, refs make it work so that it's going to be more. Oh, whoa. Oh, it hit the outside of the, wow. The way we're sitting, I thought that ball found the back of the net. I didn't know what else to say. Yeah, no, Colin Schaefer rips one from about 40 yards out, and it deflects off one of the Hopkins Central Storm, and from here it sure looked like it went in the goal, and it didn't. It hit the outside left net right there, but I was about to get excited. Nobody else seemed to jump up and down, so I guess we were wrong from here. Yeah, but the way the ball set nestled in the net for a minute, his corner kick's now whipped in by Schaefer. That's a good ball. Oh, it is. The ball's lost inside the box. Now looking to collect is Bannister. Bannister now to Colin Schaefer again, who plays the ball in. Got players up. Ball goes up. Oh, that was a very nice header. That's Ethan Witherspoon, wasn't it? No, that's Blake Barbrett. Oh, okay. Blake Barbrett with a good header. Mentioned before about Barbrett able to get up, and I mentioned in our early broadcast earlier this season, if he's close, he's able to find those, and sometimes it's not exactly with his head, but maybe his back or something, but he can read a ball in the air better than anybody. Blake is a shooter. Blake is, I think is one of the better forwards certainly out there, and he gets an opportunity to rip one. He's going to rip one, and that was a good header, and I really thought he almost got to it just then and got a goal on it. Now, but you see right now, you see how we are extremely flat, and then we've already got one guy that's gotten behind us right there. We've got to do a little bit better job of seeing that. Somebody's going to have to drop in because they're getting those three. If they're not getting through balls through, then you don't worry about it, but they are. They're getting some things through. Jack Kinsall has the ball and making it run to the outside right there, and looks like Josh Sherrill is moving with him. Jack's taking on 5 or 6 people. Going to see a ball that goes through. Almost snuck one through with Colin Schaefer. That's what he was looking to do. Was able to use Josh Sherrill. If Josh Sherrill doesn't make that run, he's not able to get that ball to Colin Schaefer. Josh Sherrill comes to overlap on the right-hand side. The whole defense drifts, and he's able to cut back and find Schaefer. Now, as the Central looking to play the ball through, Michael Henry now trying to shield off, and there is going to be a call coming out that time.
So obviously, any contact in the back may go one way or the other. And sure enough, I mean, there was hands in the back on that particular play, and that was in a position where you almost had to call something, one way or the other. As now,
I don't know what else you'd call, but his hands are in our back. Jack Kinsolving does a good job retrieving that ball, looking up for the play. Plays the ball back to the defense.
Andrew Risley now trying to clear the ball, is put under pressure, and Central now looking to break. Central trying to play the ball through, but that time Paredes is able to turn, find Colin Schaefer. Gets away from him. Bryson Bannister steps in, helps win that ball back, and Central now trying to play a little bit of possession themselves. Vivrette takes a touch, gets it to his feet, lifts his eyes, tries to find, and does find Jack Kinsolving middle of the field. Kinsolving looking to play the ball in.
I thought he was going to get that through. That was the ball I'm talking about right there. We can put that ball through in the corner right there on the left-hand side over there and get something from that. And Darian Francis saw it that time, and he almost threaded the needle to get the ball to him just now.
4 minutes left to go in this first half here at Donnelly Field in Madisonville North. It is all knotted up at 1 with the Tigers and the Hopkins Central Storm. Risley looking to play the ball down the line this time to Francis, and it is cut out by the Hopkins Central defense. Defense now looking to play a long one through, takes a deflection and goes out for a throw-in. And as you mentioned, this is their game. They collect, they look up, they try to play one over the top. And we are playing a higher line now than when we started the game. And that's not good, as again, it's trying to play it over the top. And Ethan Witherspoon is able to play it out to about the 20. And now mishandled by the Central Storm for a moment. But Paredes is able to D up and try to play one in. Does so. That ball's being knocked around, trying a cheeky heel flip, and he really didn't have a whole lot of option. Didn't have a drop. He just trying to put something on frame, but kind of unnerving there defensively for the Tigers as we had numbers back, but it just was never able to clear it to safety. As Schultz was able to pick it up and trying to find Kinsolving at about the 60-yard line. Again, Central picks up, trying to play the ball through. This time, Witherspoon cuts it out, and now trying to start and spring the counter. Witherspoon continuing to dribble, takes a heavy touch off his feet, and able to recover and win that ball back. They're going to say a Hopkins Central throw. No, it's Caldwell County throw.
That's going back to Tigers.
That's good work by Central, or by Ethan Witherspoon. He's about 25 yards out when he's won that ball, able to battle it all the way back down to about 30 yards on the opposing side of the field.
Well, you know, Ethan is a gritty player, and he does a good job with his speed and his quickness to be able to get in front of the ball and do what he needs to do, and that helps him out big time on the outside out here.
Ball for Hopkins Central looking to switch it. Andrew Risley with a big left foot trying to play the ball in off the head of a Central defender, and
no Tigers at all up there though. It's going to be very difficult for him to. We gotta have somebody's got to go up front. Got to be somebody up there.
At moments you want the relief of not having the ball back here and it being down there, but if you don't get it to somebody, it's not going to be up there very long.
Well, you saw that in the first game tonight. You saw a whole lot of Caldwell County in the girls' game controlling the ball the entire game, but they couldn't put it in the net. But certainly in the first half. As
the Tigers now trying to repeat the same result the Lady Tigers did earlier tonight. 1-1 left to go, or 1-1 here in the first half. 2 minutes left to go. Central looking now to attack down the right-hand side. Takes a deflection off of Schaefer, and again another deflection off of, looks like Risley, and trying to slip one through now to number 6 for Central, trying to go 1v1. That's Gallegos. And good pressure by Paredes to.
But if you're Central, you want to do what you're doing right now. They're getting man-to-man inside the box right now, and they've got 2 or 3 men against 2 or 3 men, and it's man-to-man. And all it takes is one little mess up or one little good touch for Central, and they're gonna end up getting a goal on that.
When you're playing this flat 4 system, you really want to defend as a group. You want to have your cover from a center back. And with them pushing numbers, they almost have to mark man once they get into that in that situation. And so, like you mentioned, I mean, from Central standpoint, this is exactly what they want. The Tigers really need a goal to at least assure them that if one slips in, they're still tied at least. But it's now 30 seconds left to go in the first half. We are on the scoreboard buzzer now for the district tournament And the ball is slipped in, trying to 1v1 with Nathaniel Paredes. Paredes staying with him stride for stride and is able to D him up now and just keep him out there in the corner.
But the Tigers do very good to recover right there. Now that time they were not man for man. We had a couple of extra people on that. Big help for us, but we.
Jack Kensaw been working hard, gets knocked off the ball. They're not even going to give us the full time as the referee calls for halftime. It is tied up 1-1 here in 7th District action between the Caldwell County Tigers and the Hopkins Central Storm. We'll be right back with a word from our sponsors. You're listening to 103.3 The Tiger, 1580 AM.
When we say expect great things, what we're really saying is Planters Bank is here to provide the financial services you need. Planters Bank believes in the strength of our community and is a full-service financial institution. Our employees have a true passion for helping our neighbors, and it shows. See Jake Pepper and the rest of the Planters Bank staff at 208 North Jefferson. Planters Bank, member FDIC and equal housing.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the law office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement. Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest and against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 imaging source. Are you looking for a bank that still has old-fashioned values that will offer you the latest technology and banking services? Take a good look at Fredonia Valley Bank. Located in Fredonia and Edinburgh, a full-service real community bank. If you're needing a new construction, checking, savings, certificate of deposit, or IRA, look no further than Fredonia Valley Bank. Good customer service is what we've built our reputation on through the years, where we continue to stand out each day with locations at 13th Avenue, Fredonia, and 326 Powder Street, Edinburgh. Number is equal housing number.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please? Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Hi, Caldwell County. I'm Allie Coleman with First Southern National Bank, and I'm ready to service your next loan. Whether you're wanting to build your first home, buy an investment property, or add square footage for your growing family, we can tailor a solution just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton, or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 1002990. Have you been a victim of debit or credit card fraud? Farmers Bank and Trust can help lessen your risk of getting taken advantage of. As our customer, you have exclusive access to a security feature in our app that will allow you to turn your debit card off while you're not using it, then turn it on instantly when you need to use it. Keep your information safe. Log into our free app to use this feature, increasing the security of your information right now. Not a Farmers Bank customer? Come down. Let us set up your account and start protecting you from potential fraud opportunities. This is not a guarantee that your information will not be compromised. This is an increased security measure. Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Caldwell Medical Associates, we believe our surgical services are truly exceptional. Our highly trained surgeon, Dr. Steve Petty, along with a team of skilled nurses and technicians, provide years of experience in a wide range of procedures, including outpatient, laparoscopic, and general surgery. Let us be your partner for better quality health care right here at home. To make an appointment, contact Caldwell Medical Associates at 270-365-0332. That's 270-365-0332.
Welcome back here, WPKY, the Tiger 103.3, 1580 AM. You are listening to, right now, halftime at Donley Field. It's the Caldwell County Tigers all knotted up with the Hopkins Central Storm at a score 1-1. Tigers scored in the 23rd minute from a left-footed shot, or a right-footed shot, I'm sorry, from Blake Vivrette coming outside the box from down the left-hand side. He was able to cut in, was able to get his right foot around one, and from the looks of it, when it left his foot, I thought there wasn't a chance, but is able to nestle in the far post. And actually, I don't think the keeper thought there was a chance because it didn't look like he moved a whole lot for it. And then about 7 minutes left to go in the game, questionable touch foul in the 18 of the Tiger defensive end, was able to give the Hopkins Central, that's going to be Jesus Gallegos, was able to knock the penalty away as Barrett Schultz guesses the wrong direction and ties it up 1-1. It's really been, from a possession standpoint, the Tigers have seemed to have more possession. Maybe the amount of time has been the same because when the Central receive the ball, they tend to counter really quick. So, and there has been a lot of over-the-top I guess, opportunities or attempts by Hopkins Central, but the Tigers have tried to control the game a little bit and play the ball back to their defense and play it around, switch sides of the field. Brett, I mean, what are you seeing as far as the difference between the first few minutes of the first half to now seeing the whole thing in perspective?
Well, you said it right. I think the Tigers did a better job of possession, but the Storm has definitely had many more positive opportunities than the Tigers have because they get the ball and they push it forward very, very quickly. So it's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of tough to say that who's winning the game as far as possession or opportunities, but I'll take opportunities over possession any day. More opportunities to score means more possibilities of goals. So I'd like to see the Tigers push the ball up, get more opportunities to score. Seems like the theme of the night for the girls' game and the boys' game. We're doing a good job with keeping the ball at the middle of the field. We need to do a better job of getting the ball in the back of the net, and we've got to watch these counterattacks. They have so quickly. The Storm just gets the ball and pushes it forward so quickly.
Well, you see the difference really in the style of plays that both coaches, both teams are attempting to play. I mean, and you see the importance of speed. Hopkins Central is able to play this direct style over the top because they have numbers with speed. They have multiple players that can get by our back line, and that's why it's going to be important for our defense to be a cohesive unit, whereas the Tigers are attacking mainly with one player who's trying to hold up in the sense of things is to receive the ball, now look for help to overlap, to come around, to do different things, which the Tigers have a couple players that they have options that they can put up there with some speed. It's just going to be real curious to see what kind of direction Coach Schaefer is going to come out the second half and attempt to do.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what changes he makes in this half to try and get us up. I think Vivrette's having a good game right now. He's doing a good job possessing the ball, and he has good opportunities to a couple different shots. We'll see if something changes in that, and we'll see if I thought Jack and Colin playing at the midfield level was a positive thing when they were playing together there, and more opportunities there for that. So we'll see what he sees, and he knows his players better than we do. We'll see what he thinks that they can do with it.
Sure, man. He sees them every day in practice, and I've seen them a couple times this season in games. I mean, you've got Blake Vivrette, you've got Ethan Witherspoon, you've got Andrew Risley. All three of those have speed and also have goals on the season. So, we'll see if maybe they can get one without one of those three. Maybe one of the other players can step up and unknot this thing and send them with a date with Madisonville North in the finals. That's going to be tomorrow night at 7:30, following your all's game at 5:30 tomorrow. Most of the time you don't see a back-to-back like that, but I believe they're trying to get them both in before the weather hits, and at least leave a little time. If something does happen, they can reschedule. Looks like we got about a minute or so before we get started in this first half. We'll take another quick break with a word from our sponsors. When we come back, it'll be second half action, second half Tiger action, 103.3 the Tiger.
Okay, we're back here with Tiger action at Hopkins Central. Derek Fuqua and Red Miller here trying to pull this game, call this game for you. Derek's going to be absent just a little bit, but we're back in action here, and we only got a minute in, and it looks like that the Tiger lineup is close to very similar to the way it was at the beginning of the first half, so we'll see if what he sees and what's going to be different about this. Once again, the Storm is pushing forward very, very quickly, trying to get a pass in. Michael Henry clears the ball out in a hurry, then getting back to his spot. The ball's going to be thrown in on the left-hand side over by the scoreboard. Hopkins Central looks to make the pass to throw in. There we go. And shields the ball and comes to it. The ball gets cleared out by Jack Kinsolver, and here we go. And we got Bryson Bannister coming on the outside right now. Jack sends the ball to Bryson Bannister, and Hopkins Central Storm is able to pick up the ball, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one of the little things, Jack, just being able to trap that ball from 40 yards. I mean, that's the simple things, but is able to almost give them a counter, as now they try to play a ball down, and Darian Francis coming down the left-hand side.
Hey, but like you mentioned, when once he got that ball, I'm yawning, sorry. Once he got that ball, he had to hold and wait for the outside guys to come to, which he did, and he put the ball to the outside, but was not able to get anything out of that. Opportunity here, but it looks like it's going to be an offside as I see a little flag. I see a flag way up here, and Mr. McCann in center now sees that flag for the offsides.
That's one of the calls this changes, I guess, this year that I'm not a big fan of. A lot of times I was told that they were told not to make that call until the ball is touched by that player.
Yeah, well, that's a bunch of horse.
A bunch of horses is what we are. The Tigers. Oh, wow. There's the foot that I spoke of earlier. That was Risley, wasn't it, that time?
No, that's Blake Vibrett coming around on that side right there. Ball cleared from the outside and from the fullback line, and a quick ball up front, and Blake Vibrett was able to come around from the outside to get that ball and took a good shot, a one-touch shot, as a matter of fact, and ball did not go in the net, but it went right over, and it was a good opportunity for the Tigers right there.
That ball was an indirect kick from Barrett Schultz, and was able to find the on-running Blake Vibrett, as now Jack Kinsolving with the ball in the middle of the field continues to have it, looks to play the ball through now. J.J. Harrell puts a shot on frame, and the keeper's able to clear.
That was a great run by J.J. Harrell there from the outside when Jack had the ball, and Jack threaded the needle and put it through. Kind of looked like J.J. might have been offside, might have gotten away with one there, but nonetheless it didn't get called.
Ball now played through. Andrew Risley, desperate defending, has to play that ball out of bounds. As we've seen J.J. Harrell a couple times in the past years or so, get on the end of a couple of half volleys like that and really smash one. It'd be great to see him put one in the net today as the Central Storm looking to attack. Ball rolls off out of the end line for a Caldwell County goal kick. Looks well. Nope, they're going to call. There's a meeting here between the officials. Both officials coming together. I'm going to guess and say it's going to be. Is there a foul call?
No, he called a goal kick.
Okay. Going to see if maybe there's a deflection off the, which is good. I mean, because difference between a corner and a goal kick's a big difference. So
yeah, and you got to like the referees. They got together to make sure they got the call right.
That's something you don't see a whole lot of. Most time, confidence goes, or confidence, arrogance, however you want to. A lot of times, they made the call. They're going to stick with it, right or wrong. As that ball is now played to Hopkins Central down this right-hand side again. Ethan Witherspoon able to play the ball to Barrett Schultz in the middle. Schultz to clear. Violet doing a great job of bringing that ball down, looking to switch play J.J. Harrell on the side. Doesn't find him, but does find Colin Schaefer. Schaefer with a cut back down the left-hand side. One defender to beat. Cuts back now to his right foot. Shot on. Bending. Oh, it was good hands by the keeper. J.J. Harrell was right there. Keeper knocks that ball down. Harrell's all but just rolling it in. That was a nice move by Colin Schaefer, though, to get one on frame.
You just kind of felt like he was getting ready to shoot. The whole time he was getting ready to set himself up right there, and he was able to pull the trigger and get one to the. It was a good shot. It looked like it was going right in the goal, but the keeper was able to come up with it, and I'm surprised the keeper was able to see that as well, to be able to get a jump on that as well as he did.
Bryson Bannister now looking to play the ball in, takes a deflection and falls to Hopkins Central 50-yard line. Central now looking to break down the left-hand side, tries to play one through. This time going to be, looks like Hunter Trimble now on the right-hand side, trying to defend. Ball takes a hop, a volley, a shot, and it does go wide. From this angle, it's kind of like the first goal.
Well, that's Ethan Witherspoon over there that's playing on the outside right there. Being able to get that, we got a Hopkins Central player down. I do want to mention that we do see one change that Coach Schaefer's make. The style of play has changed for the offense. We've had three separate balls that just as soon as the midfielder got it, they played a far post ball to the far corner. Now we're talking about at the midfield level. That's three in a row that's come from this side and gone to the far corner over there. One for Blake Vibrett on the indirect kick, but that's a little bit different style of play. We're not seeing us, which gives us more opportunity. We don't keep the ball in possession as long, but it gives us opportunities to score. So if we can continue to make that, and once that starts to happen a few times, and their defense has to drop back to mark those things, that's going to open more up for the middle too. So an interesting change in plans right there for Coach Schaefer and the Tigers. As they're obviously coming out to try and push the ball forward much quicker, which we like to see.
Delay in action there momentarily as the Hopkins Central player is down. Coach is called out to have him on the field. Coach kind of upset about something, but ball is played, picked up, and back underway as Central looking to attack. Shot is on, and Schultz not threatened at all by that one.
Yeah, well, it looked like a threat to me.
It did look like a threat to me, and I thought he didn't move a bit. But it does go out for a corner, so they're going to say a deflection. But, yeah, it's one of those things I'm thinking, man, can he not see what's going on? Because I thought it was finding the net itself. I can't even see who's on the field, obviously. I've called different names for different players all game long. So corner kick on the way for Central. Ball whipped in swinger, shot on, and it's going to be headed over for a goal kick for Caldwell County. 33 minutes left to go in the second half. Still all tied up at 1 here at Madisonville North High School.
And this is a game that's been interesting because what's going to happen, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a flurry of goals one side or the other, because both teams are trying to figure out the other teams right now. And if somebody can figure out how to score, then I'm thinking maybe we're going to have 2 or 3 goals in a row.
Well, good job by Blake Vibrett, able to shield off on that free kick.
Good job using his body.
Plays the ball back to Ethan Witherspoon. Witherspoon to Schaefer. Schaefer trying to do the same. Does find Blake Vibrett and not able to hang on to it, but does get back and defend and get numbers behind the ball. Ball slipped in, trying to find a Hopkins Central defender. Defender cuts back, shots on, and a save by Barrett Schultz. That's the kind of thing you want to see on the front page of the paper. All fully extended, maybe a game-saving save going to his left. Had to get a big paw on it to knock it out for a corner kick, but you seen it coming. He had the defender beat, but he cuts back to get it on his right foot and still able to get a shot on. That's not exactly what you want to see for the Tiger fan or the team, so hopefully we can collect this and start going the other way. Ball is set down. Corner is on the way. Schultz comes out together, but the defender, that's ball saved off the goal line. I can't tell who that was that did it.
That's J.J. Harrell just saved a goal right there.
Wow.
That ball was going in the net.
Wow. The keeper came out, got shielded off by an attacker who got something on it. And if you've seen J.J., I'm saying J.J. because I couldn't tell. But
I'm pretty sure that J.J. Harrell got that ball out right there. But I'm not sure how he did that, but he was able to kind of get it, back-footed. I'm not sure what happened.
It looked like a I call it the tricycle kick because it looked like it was over his head. But either way, I mean, if whoever it was, that's as good as a goal because that's going in the back of the net and you're down by one. So to keep it even at this moment, you're still giving your team a great opportunity. As Schultz now is a free kick given and steps up about 52 yards away and hopefully can get a hold of one and put one in the box. So now he's got Kinsolving, Harrell, Vibrett, Francis all making runs into the box. Schultz now approaches, puts the ball on the way, ball's floated in, got numbers going on, and it's going to be just wide of the goal.
I am really shocked that they allowed 3 of our guys to get back there with absolutely no. They weren't even retreating there. Had that ball been on frame or been back in the closer to the middle of the field right there, that's just an easy goal.
That's easy, yep. And I don't know, maybe they're seeing something we're not seeing. Is that time Schaefer's able to head the ball to Kinsolving, who was sitting right on the line. A shot is on by Kinsolving. Oh, my. Hits a rope as that ball is diving and dipping, and you see Schultz falls down on the other side of the field because he thought that was in himself. So
that was a rip, but you got to notice why that was a rip. That was a rip because Colin Schaefer made a run for a through pass right there, and it backed the defense up, and the defense backed off Jack. He saw that and took a rip.
Sure, just gave him enough space to get a solid contact, and that was a great opportunity. So they're looking dangerous for the Tigers now as the ball now looks at the Hopkins Central one-on-one. It's going to be Michael Henry now to defend back on Gallegos. Gallegos drifts out to the outside, cuts back, tries to cut back again, does so, but Paredes is there to help. Francis now to play the ball out, finds Colin Schaefer in the middle of the field, mishit, but now...
Storm takes possession of it right now, looking down the middle. You know they're going to push it forward quickly. Well, and then I said that, and they did not.
There's been a couple opportunities that the Storm has had. Almost, it seems, an open path to goal, and they almost cut back, wanting on their dominant foot. To me, it's just an obvious reasoning of why it's so important for those at home watching, and if you're going to watch on the live stream or later on YouTube, why it's so important to be confident in both feet, because they have the opportunity. Ball played in, header on the way, Central ball pops out, still loose in the 18. Barrett Schultz coming out to haul for it, but just too far as that ball is cleared out by J.J. Harrell now for a Hopkins Central throw-in about 20 yards from the goal line. Once things start happening, they tend to start happening in a hurry, as now Central looking to attack down the left-hand side, drops the ball back, crosses one in, and easy pickings for Barrett Schultz that time. Quick throw looking for Colin Schaefer. Midfield takes a step over, eyes come up, ball looks to be played in, but again, we can't go back to playing the ball over the top. Not with Jack up there. You want to see that ball played to his feet, as now Central looking to attack the other way.
Although on that scenario, playing the ball up over might have given him an opportunity because he was a little bit closer. It wasn't like he was going to have to run onto it. He could have just turned and shot, more than likely, from that spot.
You are in that situation, you do have a little bit of space, and if he can get on just a touch, he's got the leg, obviously, to shoot from there. So now Central looking to play the ball. Big ball played over the top, looking for an on-running Harrell or Kinsolving. Kinsolving, Harrell both putting pressure on that defender.
But that's what I was talking about right there. That's something you did not see in the first half, was that ball played to the far corner.
Oh, great step up that time by Blake Vibrett, who now starts to spring the counterattack.
He can take them on. If he would take them on, now he can't take on 3.
That's going to be, yes, illegal. And now he's going to look to play it quick, but they just need to set this one up. He looked to play quick. You had Harrell up there, but you had defenders back. So now Schaefer now steps over the ball. He's going to pick out a spot to float this one in.
This is one of the spots that Colin likes to shoot from. So we'll see if he chips it over, if he shoots. We'll just have to see what's going to happen. I see Risley's coming in to give him, looks like Hopkins Central they got 8 men on the line right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and the big thing for Schaefer is he's got space to chip that in behind, in between the keeper and the line. If he can get on it, you've got speed, you got size. The ball is chipped in, now looking for a long runner, and that is Central able to clear the ball out, going the other way.
I think
big clearance.
That was a good idea. But you had Vibrett out there on the outside, and Vibrett went toward the ball, and we thought had opportunity there. Might have been a little bit too far for this keeper to be able to score off of that. So that was a good choice by Schaefer to be able to put the ball out there for a header.
As now the Tigers trying to win the ball back, as Hopkins Central trying to attack now down the right-hand side. Ball was dropped back earlier by Schultz, who looked to switch the point of attack. And the Tigers are going to throw here 26 minutes left to go in the second half. Still all knotted up at 1. Watching and listening to 7th District action, soccer action here. Caldwell County Tigers and the Hopkins Central Storm. The ball's loose. Finds Gallegos in the middle of the field. Back outside, number 9. Tries to play it back through to Gallegos, who takes another touch. Ball is crossed in, but that's going to be Witherspoon sliding over to help defend about 6 yards away from his own goal. Shots on. Takes a deflection. Oh, wow.
Those are the ones that scare you to death as a keeper. A deflection has a good shot from about 25 yards out, and it deflects off one of the Caldwell's players, and those are the ones that keepers cannot stand. Once you got your momentum going one way, and then it flicks the other way, not a fun place to be. But he was able to pick that up.
Number 9 now for Central, looking to attack down the center of the field. That's going to be Carlos Cifuentes. Mentioned him quite a bit, him and Gallegos, trying to link up in the middle of the field. But so far, the Tigers have done a decent job trying to bottle up. There has been a few flurries, but again, this has been a pretty open game between the two teams, and it's really a different style of soccer. Both teams looking to advance and go meet up with Madisonville North tomorrow in the district final, as that ball is played to about the 50-yard line of Barrett Schultz on that goal kick. Blake Vivette doing a good job of defending. That time stepped through by a Hopkins Central player, trying to play it again down the left-hand side. Chips floats one in far post, and it's going to roll out for a Caldwell County goal kick. Here in the last few minutes, Central Storm has been able to put together a couple of attacking plays. Maybe to give a little bit of breather. You've got Colin Schaefer now. I've noticed he's almost out wide. He is momentarily. I don't know if that's his given spot at this moment. Most games this season he's played in the middle of the field, but he's left-footed. He can shoot with both, but he's on this left-hand side, and you almost wonder if he's looking to link up as the ball does fall to Colin Schaefer now. Now he's got one defender on his back, trying to go down this left-hand side. 18 yards away, cuts back on his right foot, gets clipped, and still is able to hang on to it. Going back and forth, both players kind of right in front of the stands, and Caldwell County's going to earn a throw. Central now with 8-9 players back. The 10th player is coming back, so there's plenty of numbers behind the ball as the ball's played in short to Schaefer, and they're going to call an illegal throw-in for Caldwell. It's not what you want to see in that situation. However, the Central did have numbers back. They are defending as a whole unit, so big throw by Central. Takes a flick and finished off as Michael Henry now wins the header, trying to go the other way. Bryson Bannister looking to play the ball through to no one.
But you saw what just happened again. Once again, from the left-hand side, they're playing the ball to the far right, trying to get something quickly. And eventually, at some point, somebody's going to be on the receiving end of that, I hope.
Darian Francis looking to play the ball in the middle, takes a deflection, takes a hop. Jack Kinsall in there, trying to play a quick 1-2 with Colin Schaefer. Schaefer down the sideline on the left-hand side, cuts back, tries to play one through, falls to Bryson Bannister, and the attempt to clear is on for Central. Central collects in the middle of the field. It's a 2 versus 4. Ball is slipped in, and Witherspoon is able to momentarily clear back out to midfield. Going to be balls bouncing around, trying to go back and forth. Risley with a header. And that's Gallegos on the right-hand side is on, trying to chip the keeper, but that was way too tall. And that was an unfortunate event there for Risley. As he goes up, he wins the header, but it kind of takes an odd deflection off the back of his head, and it puts Gallegos in on frame on the right-hand side, but he was able to sky that shot as Barrett Schultz now sets it down for a goal kick. We've got 22 minutes left to go now in the second half here at Donnelly Field in Madisonville North High School.
Josh Sherrill comes in to give Darian Francis a little bit of a rest on the left-hand side. We got the Storm has men up right now. Good opportunity. Ball's in the inside the 18. Michael Henry.
Good hands.
Great save by Barrett Schultz right there. That was just a really quick push. We didn't have men. They had men back, men up top. Really good offensive thrust right there for the Storm.
Punt on its way by Barrett Schultz, takes a bounce. Colin Schaefer camps up underneath, the ball's flicked in. Jack Kinshoffing in on green, takes a heavy touch, and wow, there may have been the go-ahead goal. That was exactly what, well, Coach Miller, what you used to teach us in high school back when I played. You win the ball, you flick it on to another player has to be running. And if it's not running, that doesn't work. But Jack Kinshoffing was running off of Schaefer, who flicks it on. Just the heavy touch let him down. So now as the Tigers look to attack again, Schaefer now putting pressure on this right-hand side, and Sherrill's able to come away with it. Sherrill again getting in the way of winning the ball. Central taking a touch, finding Bryson Bannister. Hopkins Central looking to break, and Blake Valvette stepping in, and it's going to be Risley now on that right-hand side. That's another change that they made. Risley goes to the right. Ethan Witherspoon comes to the left, it looks like. Central still trying to attack down that left-hand side. WPKY Princeton. Now as the ball is, it looks like Hopkins Central is going to throw in here at the midfield mark.
And the mid-half mark as well. I got 20 minutes and 12 seconds to go right now in this half, which means we're halfway through this half. Both teams have had 2 or 3 different opportunities that are good opportunities. Hopkins Central Storm now is on another thrust. Looks like he's got the ball to the outside, and ball comes out to Nate Paredes, who clears the ball out very quickly. You know, let's talk about a couple different players here. When you look at Nate Paredes and Michael Henry and the things that they've done this year and how much they've improved since last year, you know, Nate has improved his speed tremendously since last season. He's lost quite a bit of weight. He really picked up his foot skills, done a good job supporting the backs back there in the back. Michael Henry is a player that hadn't played very much over the years and has come in the last 2 or 3 years and learned the game, been able to secure that center back spot. Hopkins Central have a good opportunity right here, but puts the ball over the net as the ball is played to the outside and back into the 18 for the Hopkins Central Storm, but it goes over the net. Barrett Schultz about to set up in order to clear the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you really talk about both seniors, Michael Henry, Nate Paredes. They're almost anchors in that back line. Michael, maybe not so much. Nate has always played in that back line, and Nate has always had positional defense has always been tremendous. Well, you know, and now he's added a little bit of speed, so he's been at his defensive pressure and his effectiveness has increased this season.
Very much so. So you look at what he's done, and he has, yes, he for sure has been playing the back line, but he has not played the center back position until this year. So when you look at what he's done to be able to control the back and having him and Michael playing that center back spot back in there and do what they can do, would not happen had he not increased his speed in the offseason. When you see somebody come back in the offseason and they've improved their physicality, I think you like to see that as a coach.
Well, and it tells you a lot about that kid.
He wants to have a good senior season. That's that simple, and he wants to contribute to this team.
18 minutes left to go in the second half. We're all tied up at 1 here at Madisonville North High School. You're listening to WPKY 103.3 The Tiger. We're going to cut back to our sponsors momentarily, and then we're going to make one final push for the rest of the game. Hopefully hear the Tigers pull this one out.
To provide the financial services you need. Planters Bank believes in the strength of our community and is a full-service financial institution. Our employees have a true passion for helping our neighbors, and it shows. See Jake Pepper and the rest of the Planters Bank staff at 208 North Jefferson. Planters Bank, member FDIC and equal.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the law office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, Services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement. Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
Welcome back to Donnelly Field. You're listening to Tiger Soccer action here. 7th District Tiger Soccer. Jack Kinsolving now plays the ball to J.J. Harrell on the right-hand side. Harrell plays one in. Low almost chips the goalkeeper.
You know, Harrell does a good job of getting that ball, trying to get that ball on the 6. He does a good job, but the keeper is able to get over. He had another foot on that one. That ball got over him.
Harrell's put in some good minutes now as the keeper. Barrett Schultz has to come way out to clear that one out. Bryson Bannister collects, finds Jack Kinsolving at his feet. Kinsolving looking to play Schaefer, instead finds Bannister to Schaefer. Schaefer now down this left-hand sideline, looks to cut back, does so, finds Josh Sherrill, was the right pass. Now Sherrill looking to find Bryson Bannister. Bannister does a good job trying to switch the point of attack, trying to find J.J. Harrell, and that's going to be, they're still trying to attack down here, but Colin Schaefer's down on this near side. Looks like it's going to cramp. And it is up to the referee's discretion whether and that's what Henry was doing right there. He was just trying to play the ball out because he's got a player down, and the referee doesn't have to stop the play. I'm assuming if he thinks it's a serious enough injury, he can at any moment, but you let those plays play out if you think that they'll be okay. And it was an obvious, the way he went down, it was a cramp. Hopefully he can get this worked out. We got 15 minutes left to go, and hopefully the Tigers can find the winning goal.
You know, all the same as a referee and the way it is played in high school, if there's an injury, you're supposed to blow the whistle unless it's a scoring opportunity for the opposing team. So we don't let our players sit down here on the field and wriggling around in pain. We make the call, and we do it. We do what we got to do. And I've seen too many referees this year let play on when somebody's hurt. When somebody's hurt, we got to get them off the field. This is not international play. International play, you don't stop no matter what. This is high school ball. When they see an injury, they should blow the whistle, and then we should do something with that injured player.
Colin Schaefer back to his feet as he is winged on both sides by assistant and head coach, or sister and dad, however you want to say it. As a senior this year, for him it must be a little odd he's had his dad coach him basically all his life, and then now his sister is assistant coach. But I'm sure he won't be out very long, as he'll probably get stretched out a little bit and try to give this final 15 minutes a push. But, you know, you talk about Colin and Jack and Michael Henry and Josh Sherrill and Nate Paredes, Barrett Schultz. You got 6 seniors here who I believe all of them, have played all 4 years. Not only that, a few of these players have played all their life. Soccer is what they know. Schultz, I know when he was younger, has went back and forth between football and now he's kicking on Friday nights. But for the most part, this is what they do. So it's all going to come to an end here shortly, within the week at least. Hopefully not tonight, though. As the play is resumed, it's going to be a Hopkins Central throw. They were on the attack. They look to attack again now, as trying to see that there had to be Schaefer had to come out, so it drops Jack Kinsolving back to the middle, and they're going to move J.J. Harrell now to the top. You still got Blake Vivrette, Jack Kinsolving now in the middle of the field to work the attack from there. Schultz now with the punt, finding Francis. Francis wins the ball, plays the ball in the middle of the field, drops back to Vivrette. Vivrette now surveying the field, drops it back to Kinsolving. Kinsolving with a defender on his back, gets past one again, cuts it across, looking for Josh Sherrill, finds Josh Sherrill on this near side. Sherrill now drops the ball back to, looks like Ethan. Now, Tigers with a nice little stint of possession here. Vibrett switching the point of attack now to Risley. Risley now trying to get through, finding Kinsolving, who's pushed off the ball, and now Central now looking to attack quickly as they try to play the ball over the top.
Weatherspoon's going to get at that no problem with his speed on the outside up there on the left right there, but now we can't see what's going on down there, but I assume it's going to be a throw-in of some kind. Looks like throw-in Hopkins Storm. Ball goes back out to the outside right there, and that ball gets played across.
Dangerous ball. Ball's hit. Oh, that's a great job. Was that Risley? Initially getting it off. Shot on fire. Oh, wow. That Schultz went down for that one. He knew that one was close, and it was close. It squeezes across the face of the goal. Goes out, luckily, for a Caldwell County goal kick. But ball hits. It's kind of a rule of thumb defensively. Don't let the ball touch the ground, and the 18 on throws, kicks, anything. So they're going to call. Looks like they're going to call offsides. He's not in the 6-yard box, so they're going to rule that offsides or a foul of some sort. So regardless, play is going to be resumed with Schultz to take. Got Colin Schaefer, one of the Tigers' leading goal scorers, out right now with a cramp. Ball's flicked on by Vibrett, looking for J.J. Harrell. Harrell pressuring. And Central looking now to play the other way. Central now plays the ball out wide at Gallegos. Gallegos looking to get around, plays one, tries to cross it, was able to get ahead on the ball, and Schultz is there to pick it up again. As you see, Colin Schaefer now putting on the reserve penny and making his way to the center half mark. He will be coming in momentarily as now the Tigers are trying to win the ball back again as Jack Kinsolving plays the ball all the way back to his keeper. Schultz takes a touch, looks to play the clear, and there's kind of a bit of a uncertainty on possession right now as both teams are going back and forth.
Well, the last 10 minutes has been sloppy. But both teams, we've had a couple different times when Caldwell has been able to retain possession and put some string of passes together. But we played a lot of ping pong in this game today, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Of course, Hopkins Central, that's their offense. They're going to push the ball forward very, very quickly, and we don't do that. We like to settle in a little bit more and play a little bit more possession. But we'll see how.
Right now, Central trying to attack. Ball does go out of bounds for a Caldwell County throw. And, we mentioned a little bit earlier about the woes. Schaefer is on the outside if he can get in, but they're not seeing and letting him back on the field. So Tigers now play the ball into Harrell trying to find Bannister, but it is that time played out by Central, looking to play a deep one, but that's more of a hopeful ball as an easy pickup for Schultz.
But that's what they do. They kick the ball forward very quickly, hope somebody gets to it. That one was way too far out. They weren't going to get anything with that. But that's what they're looking to do. And I think their frustration is setting in with Hopkins Central because they haven't been able to get anything on the end of that. And so what that causes them to do is end up having to kick the ball harder, which is counterproductive.
We talked about earlier in the broadcast about the scoring woes of the Tiger team this season with only 19 goals. And you look out there right now and tied 1-1 with 10 minutes left to go in the game, and the top 4 players that on the offense have combined this season for 0 goals. You've got Colin Schaefer waiting to come on, and this change has been made since Schaefer has went out with the cramp. So at some point you'll think that we'll have to go for it at some point. I don't know. Maybe you want to go to PKs. We've got a past all-region keeper. So, you might want to think, well, we've got the advantage there, but, I'm not sure what the thought is. Maybe let's just relax and give it a good hard push here in the last few minutes as Schaefer looks to come on and replace J.J. Harrell. Colin Schaefer coming in, almost playing the target now, something he hasn't played a lot of today in the game, but he is one who's got a decent speed, good feet, and a shot with either foot. that is going to be a handball, but they're going to keep playing. There's no call. Okay, now there's a call. I guess if you continue not to play long enough, then he'll stop the play. It was an obvious handball. Ethan Witherspoon throws his hand up and then pulls it back, and he knew it, but kind of delayed, but it's going to be
I think they were looking to see if there was going to be an advantage there, but when the ball went straight to the defense, they just pulled it back, and that's a good delayed call right there. You don't want to lose the advantage if your team's getting ready to score. So you see Caldwell is setting up on the 12, and maybe the 18, setting up with whoever's got their hand up right there. But you know that's a little bit dangerous here for these guys. But with they put the ball anywhere toward the goal, I think Barrett's going to get to that no problem when they're sitting up on the 12.
If Schultz can see the ball off his foot, he can break and make it anywhere in that 18 from this distance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's 25, 35, 30 yards away. So this ball's going to be floated in now, looking to chip.
Yeah, that's going straight to Barrett.
Yep, and Barrett read it the whole way. As a center fielder trying to make that catch to make the final out, that's kind of a similar situation. This time you have Schaefer up at the top with a little speed, trying to find him. It's a great step over initially. Ball's going to go out for a Caldwell County throw right near midfield. Oh, they're going to switch it. No, center ref says no, that's a white throw. So it is going to be a call, stay with Caldwell County. 7 minutes ticking underneath the 7-minute mark here at Donley Field.
Referees having a little discussion. Well, you saw something interesting right there. You almost saw Blake Barbrett make a through run from way back in the back right there when Colin Schaefer got the ball. Because when Colin Schaefer getting the ball right now, he's getting 2 or 3 people on him quickly. So if he can release quickly, which is not really his style, but if he can release quickly, may very good opportunity, especially if he can release quickly to somebody who's running up front. Jack Kinsolving now has the ball. Is that Jack?
That's Jack doing what he does best, holding people off. I mean, he's got a large frame and he's got decent feet. And he's not going to beat you on a through ball. But if he's got it, sometimes he's hard to be pushed off of it.
If he's got the ball at his foot, you got to like what the possibilities of things that can happen. And so now we're seeing another throw in by the Tigers. And number 2, who's number 2?
That's Hunter Trimble, I believe,
okay.
Or on the right hand side. It may be. No, that's actually Risley. Andrew Risley with a throw there.
Quick ball through. Ethan Witherspoon very quick, very easy to take that ball. Witherspoon sees something with a little bit of speed. He dribbles through 3 or 4 from the outside back spot. He's going to see what he's got. He's going to cut. And we're going to end up getting a corner kick out of that.
Well done. That's good. They called a goal kick.
They called it a goal kick.
And that's one of those as a defender, you make that kind of run. I mean, that's 60 yards. I think when he picked up that ball, he's on the other side of the half-field line.
But he saw space. I mean, when you see space and you got the speed that he's got, you want to see that. You know, you look at some teams and some good quality teams. A lot of times you got people that are scoring from that spot right there.
Sure. Hopkins Central now trying to attack down the right-hand side. That's going to be Jesus Gallegos. Ball is thrown in. Trying to play the ball across the top of the 18. Now looking for Colin Schaefer. And able to fight to try to win it back. Still fighting. Got multiple defenders on Central. Schaefer goes down and tries to make a tackle, but it does roll out for a Central throw. Central throw the ball in on the near side. 30 yards away from goal. Trying to cross the ball. Does so all the way across. Takes a touch to get it down. Ball's bouncing around the 18. And Risley's there to clear it back out on the opposite side of the field.
Risley does a good job stepping into the center right there to clear the ball out of the outside. Good solid foot. Now got subs coming in. It's good to see him do that and got the ball out very, very quickly. You know, Risley has very quick feet. When he gets back in a situation, he can move those feet very quickly to do something like he just did right there, which was excellent.
Risley has been a big help this season on that defensive side of the ball. He's been able to get forward a couple times when put in the midfield position, scored a couple goals, and he's been a big help on the defensive side. Trying to find Jack Kinsolving now in the middle of the field, still working hard. Is Jack pushing the defender back, stands him up now. You got help for Central back there, but he chooses not to and decides to play the ball through on that left-hand side. Ball's whipped in far post. Central player waiting on it and takes a missed touch, and it gets away from him momentarily. Witherspoon working hard to get a ball out of bounds and get our defense reset. Better touch, that's a goal. He was unmarked in the 18, but he's unmarked in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, well, he didn't seem to want to take a shot first time right there, which as a coach, you really want him to take that shot first time right there when you're wide open. But he didn't think he wanted to do that. So now, you know, opportunity lost because of that decision. That ball comes out to Colin Schaefer at the top. Schaefer not going to get to that, but
that ball's going to stay in. They're battling back and forth, and it does finally go out for a Caldwell County throw. I mean, you know, Colin Schaefer now, he's that lone attacker on those counterattacks, and at this moment, we're less than 4 minutes left to go in the game in regulation, and you're looking more and more like extra time. So you don't want to flood the field with attacking options, but sometimes you need a little more help. As now Central looking to go the opposite way, plays a through ball to the opposite side of where his defenders or his attackers were, but does earn a throw in for Central. Central now making a sub.
Have not seen nearly as many through balls from Central in the last 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes anyway. I don't know if they're getting tired because they're not really pushing hard and trying to get it up early. You know, maybe they're satisfied with not.
Oh wow, all over him, Michael Henry.
They may be satisfied with going into PKs here at the end or going into the sudden death. You know, sudden death, you gotta love sudden death because it put in a goal and the game's over.
Is it golden goal?
It is golden goal.
Both 5-minute halves.
Both 5-minute halves are golden goal.
That was a question I had on the way up. I couldn't remember if it's 2 5s or it is golden goal. So first team scores, game's over. Ball is bouncing around trying to find possession. Central does come away with it momentarily, trying to slip one through, but Ethan is there, finds Kinsolving in the middle of the field. Kinsolving to Bannister. Bannister back to Kinsolving, but
doesn't quite get there. Doesn't quite get there, but Kinsolving made a good run. The ball wasn't there. A little bit of a push there. I'm going to say that's probably going to go White.
That's going White's way.
Go the way of White right there. It's good to see that.
That's basic defending. You watch the ball. He was trying to give him feints and step overs, but the ball wasn't going anywhere, and finally the player messed up. Jack stepped in and got pushed. So, I mean, able to win possession. This is a dangerous position. 50 yards away, Barrett Schultz. We got everybody but Paredes and Henry, and we've got everybody else on the top of the 18.
Yeah, but likewise, they've got all their guys in the back too, so we're not.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
It takes a deflection, ball sent in, far post. Group of White players, ball does fall down finally, and there's no pressure. I mean, that's why you get up there. And as the ball comes out to Henry trying to play the ball out, it's going to be off of a Central player for a Tiger throw. But
they have stopped the clock now at 2 minutes, so there's really no telling.
But that's why you push up in the 18. I mean,
yeah, I'm not sure why we didn't want to go to the ball right there. The ball dropped, bounced and dropped, and then we still didn't make any moves toward the ball. So a little bit of a lost opportunity for us right there. We couldn't count on this great ball by Barrett Schultz. Went right to the outside the 6 right there, and up in between 6 and 12 maybe, and just didn't do anything with it.
Francis now in, checks in for Josh Sherrills. Colin Schaefer takes a touch to the center of the field, 20 yards out, looks back, plays the ball, tries to play the ball to J.J. Harrell, but it is cut out by the Central Storm.
Just didn't release that quite in the time that they...
Oh, dangerous ball. Paredes, desperate defending, just tries to kick it out and does so kind of the wrong direction, but at this moment, you got less than 2 minutes. You got to get it out in front of your goal. Ball's thrown in from Central on the left-hand side, looking to play the ball across. They do have a runner. Shot off the post, bounces back to him, and he plays it in. Wow. Heartbreaking for the Tigers. And they're going to say offsides, no goal. No goal for the Storm as it still stays tied. Again, somebody said their prayers before this game. Ball bounces off the post, hits the shooter, goes into the goal. Referee's got his flag up, says offsides. We're still tied. Wow.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see any of that. Don't know what happened right there. And now all of a sudden we're on a counterattack with an opportunity to score ourselves. Well, now Storm gets the ball back.
Henry with a big boot looking for Schaefer. Ball goes straight up. Finds Bannister. Bannister to play the ball through. Schaefer on the run. And they're going to call in a regulation. All tied up here at 1-1 at Donnelly Field. You're listening to 7th District action. Oh, Hopkins Central Storm, they're not happy about the call, but again, this isn't international play. It's not what you want to see in a high school match. They've still got 10 minutes to play, at least a little time until somebody scores. Bottom line is, we're listening to great soccer action here on WPKY tonight. The Lady Tigers able to come out 4-2 ahead earlier in the first match, and now the nightcap, the Tigers are now headed into extra time with the Hopkins Central Storm. We're going to take a quick break, get a word from our sponsors, and you're listening to 103.3 The Tiger, 1580 AM.
Banking services. It's good work at Fredonia Valley Bank. Located in Fredonia and Edinburgh, a full service real community bank. If you're needing a new construction, checking, savings, certificate of deposit, or IRA, look no further than Fredonia Valley Bank. Good customer service is what we've built our reputation on for years, where we continue to stand out each day with locations at 13 Academy Avenue, Fredonia, and 326 Powder Street, Edinburgh. Number equal nothing under. Are you looking for a bank that still has old-fashioned values that will offer you the latest technology and banking services? It's good work at Fredonia Valley Bank. Located in Fredonia and Edinburgh, a full-service real community bank. If you're needing a new construction, checking, savings, certificate of deposit, or IRA, look no further than Fredonia Valley Bank. Good customer service is what we've built our reputation on for years, where we continue to stand out each day with locations at 13 Academy Avenue, Fredonia, and 326 Powder Street, Edinburgh. Number equal nothing under. What does your morning sound like? Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please? Just making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Hi, Caldwell County. I'm Allie Coleman with First Southern National Bank, and I'm ready to service your next loan. Whether you're wanting to build your first home, buy an investment property, or add square footage for your growing family, we can tailor a solution just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton, or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 1002990. Hi, Caldwell County. I'm Allie Coleman with First Southern National Bank, and I'm ready to service your next loan. Whether you're wanting to build your first home, buy an investment property, or add square footage for your growing family, we can tailor a solution just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton, or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 100.
Welcome back. You're listening to WPKY, The Tiger, 103.3, 1580 AM. This is 7th District Soccer action. Caldwell County Tigers playing Hopkins Central Storm here at Donnelly Field in Madisonville North High School. After the end of regulation, we're all knotted up 1-1. So a quick reset of what's fixing to happen is you're going to play a mini game, 5-minute halves, 2 5-minute halves. The only difference is the first team that scores wins. And so, you know, it's kind of, you don't want to be on your back foot the whole game. Or the whole half. You want to be the one, because if you're not shooting, there's no chance of scoring. But then again, you don't want to give that goal up either, because you can't return and you can't come back and equalize.
Well, this is a hard sell for Coach Schaefer and the Tigers because, you know, with when they want to push out the way Central is playing and they're pushing the ball forward very quickly, they are likely to counterattack very quickly at any time. So it's going to be a hard sell to decide whether you're going to push forward or not. In lots of different situations, still like to see some speed up front to see if we can get something behind the back line, because I think we can. Haven't seen that opportunity yet. It's very likely that he may come out and do something like that. We'll see what changes he's going to make. We'll see what opportunities they're going to have. Got to flip a coin to see who gets the ball first and what sides they're going to be on. But you know, this is exciting because, like you said, in a golden goal, first goal wins. So
yeah, and for some of these seniors, you know, it's kind of bittersweet because if you win this, it's a memorable. I mean, it's going to be a memorable game either way. But if you win it, it's going to be crazy. But if you lose it, it's kind of it's going to be one of those tough ones to swallow because I remember. I think. I can't actually. I say you're going to remember it. I can't remember if I've ever played in one or not. I've seen so many of them. I've seen many games. Been a part of watching siblings and just being a fan. And as a fan, if you're one that watches a World Cup, there ain't nothing better than a PK penalty shootout or overtime. I mean, it's constant at that moment, which it's going to take a little while to get to that point. The game may be over first, but it's constant excitement. So, we've got players, like you said, all game long. They've been wanting to play that through ball, and there's a good chance that we can answer that. As you see, Barrett Schultz now, and he did this. I pointed this out earlier in the season. He did this at halftime of one of the other games, and we broadcast. He was talking to Ethan Weatherspoon. Ethan's a freshman, and as a senior goalkeeper, who Ethan's played defense all game. You can only imagine what the words are, but obviously he's giving him some kind of instruction. Whether I don't know. Maybe it's saying, "Go score me a goal." I'll hold it down back here. You score one here, or maybe he's just making sure to watch his back. But that's something that, these Tigers have had a tough season. 2 wins this season so far, and to see that right there, that says a lot about kind of who they are as a group.
Well, you know what? You can have a really poor season, and you can come out with a win like this, and the rest of the season doesn't matter anymore.
Absolutely.
The only thing you're going to remember, I remember coaching years ago, and we had a really, really poor season. And if you ask all those seniors what they remember the most, they're going to remember us beating Christian County in the pouring down rain when nobody else was playing. And that's all they're going to remember. They don't care about all the other losses. All they care about is that one great memory that they had. And the Tigers now have an opportunity to create a great memory for themselves for the 2018 season. So we'll see how they come out and how they play and what they do, and see if they can come up with that great memory. And then after that, the rest of this doesn't matter. I mean, they get to play Madisonville North. Madisonville North, of course, is very strong. They'll be playing them tomorrow night if they win this game. So we just don't know. Do look like we're making a couple of changes here. Looks like Ethan Weatherspoon is going to come up to the top in the front, going to get a little bit of speed coming up to the front side. Now, I kind of feel like we're getting ready to have a set play here right off the go.
Oh, yeah.
And we are. We've got
Barrett Schultz is getting ready. He's fixing them.
And we've got Blake Viverette, and we've got Ethan Weatherspoon, and we've got Colin on the right-hand side. It's almost like we got.
I love it.
We got like 4 wideouts getting ready to take a pass or something.
I love it.
A football game, but we've got a set play here from the very beginning, trying to get the ball up and finish this game within the first 30 seconds. So we'll see how this is going to happen. And it's up and it's in and it's going this way, and they do get the ball.
The ball is there. Blake Viverette on the run. Ball. Oh wow! Hey, that was close.
Yeah, we had the opportunity. Talking about having a little bit of speed, and Ethan Weatherspoon gets back in his spot. Opportunity to do something with it right there and trying to finish this game off. That was very creative by Coach Schaefer. Enjoyed seeing that. Like to see that speed stay up there.
Coming from the coach that it was trick play and corner kicks back when I coached. I mean, to see a trick play straight out of, and really that's what it was, straight off the bat. Oh, now as the ball's in, Hopkins Central down the right-hand side, Paredes is having to slide over to defend. Shot is played across. Shot is on, and that's a game. Hopkins Central, 45 seconds into golden goal overtime. The Tigers went for it initially. Ball is played across the 6-yard line, falls to Hopkins Central, and is able to slip it underneath Barrett Schultz, who is trying. But, I mean, you're 1v1 from the 6. You better put that shot away as Central team celebrates, and Tigers are kind of in despair, disbelief kind of, few of them. I mean, you got 6 seniors on that team, and that was it for them.
Yeah, but you got to look at also, it's good showing for the Tigers right now. I mean, they got beat 5-1 by this team earlier in the season, and they held them all the way to taking them into overtime at the end of this game. There's disgust and disbelief right there right now, and that opportunity right there. And I'm not really sure what happened and the breakdown of the defense right there with the 2 guys wide open and then another guy wide open in the center. I don't know where we all were, what we were doing, but the Tigers are helping each other off the field right now, knowing that they're for these seniors, their soccer career is over with. And I don't know if maybe 1 or 2 of them might be going to play someplace else or not after this, but Barrett Schultz might be. I'm not sure. But this is the end of the Tiger soccer season for 2018. It's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, we've mentioned many of these kids played together for a long time. I mean, I've coached a lot of these kids for many years, and as Tiger Football Club, as Pennyroyal Valley Select, as you know, coached a lot of them, those 6 seniors, especially, or at least 4 of the 6 seniors, and you know, it's tough. But, you know, somebody always has to come away, and what you ultimately want is, we mentioned it, I mean, this is a good game. I mean, this is a good game to watch. It was a good game to play. After getting beat 5-1 the first time, they knew they were a better team than that, and they had opportunities to win this one. Unfortunately, it just didn't fall their way.
Well, I just need to say that I got to get off here and gather up my girls and get on the bus. But you know, that was a good game to watch. Enjoyed watching the Tigers perform in that game. Wish we had a better outcome at the end. But I appreciate the radio station being here for everything that we've gotten. And all the coverage that we get, and appreciate you, Derek, for doing this game, and Dennis and Joe for doing the first game, and I hope all the fans will come out again tomorrow night as we take on Madisonville North, looking for a big upset on a team that's had a great season. So we can make a memory tomorrow night too, just with the Tigers winning the district tournament tomorrow night.
Awesome, Coach Miller, and good luck. So again, the Tigers fall tonight in the nightcap in the first period of golden goal sudden death by a score of 2-1. It was a repeat, a second game of sorts between these two programs, as Hopkins Central beat them the first game at Caldwell County 5-1. This time they get the better of them, a score of 2-1. Again, Jack Kinsolving, Colin Schaefer, Barrett Schultz, Josh Sherrill, Michael Henry, Nate Paredes, those seniors, this is it. To play and represent the Caldwell County, wear the blue and gold, and on a soccer field, and it's been a good ride, and it's been fun watching them play. So, again, it's unfortunate tonight, but tomorrow, as a Caldwell County fan, as a soccer fan, tune in. 5:30. I'm sure they'll be going on air sometime a little before that. Here at WPKY, the Tiger, as the Lady Tiger soccer team, will be competing for the 7th District title against the Madisonville Maroons. Always a tough matchup, but again, like Coach Miller said, trying to make a memory.